Hey folks, welcome aboard. We're not playing the usual fantastic video that we have to start all the Rachel's Ghost Adventures. That'll be tomorrow morning. We're going to be on tomorrow morning as scheduled. That's how they say it in UK. Scheduled. No, today it's not about Rachel. Today it's all about Norman Maslow. Okay, Mazzy, beloved, legendary. Got a producer, help with the camera angles. Hey, George, we're here to support Mazzy. Rachel didn't understand the raw essence of the original concept. I want a big shout out for my friend Loki. I just love him so much. He goes, the original poster, which it was derived, was more visceral and more apt. That's all I'm going to say. I love it because I like World War II airplanes. So I guess a little bit about me. I like airplanes. But we're here about Mazzy and Michael. Big salute to Michael. And also, I mean, listen, this is all for fun and giggles, shits and grins. But I told Mazzy the day he caught Michael 45, an incredible YouTuber in his own right. He's legendary. It's all madness, my friend John. Let's get that link casted out there. But no, what we're here, this is a celebration. It's a happy time. It will end up being all about Rachel. Wow, my God. Yeah, all hail. This is what we're saying. Listen, Rob. Rob, I got a link for you and John Dagon and Norman. If he's busy, Mazzy could be busy out at Alpaca Farm. I don't know what he's doing, but we're here to celebrate all things Mazzy before tomorrow. No chess talk. Okay, no chess. I got to tell you something. Joe, I got to tell one thing. One thing. Where's my phone at? Do we have a phone? Anyway, Sammy Shoker, Grandmaster, showed up today to do a. What the hell did he do? He did a simultaneous exhibition playing 17 players all at once. He won 16 of those 17 games. One of them he drew. It was equal. There's two grandmasters going at it, I guess you could say. Anyway, long story a little longer. I was at one board. I drew Grandmaster Sammy Shoker and in a shocking ending. And it's so great. It's such a gentleman. He's a French, he's an Egyptian, French born Egyptian. Okay. And but he did me the there we go. He signed the score sheet. It's a draw. We agreed to a draw over 58 moves. He said, Rachel, you had a winning game. I got some film, some footage and stuff. Probably show the Patreon gang so that you can join and follow me on Patreon over there. My good friend Bex is here, and it is August. And that means that my friend Danny After Dark is going to be coming up mile away, and she's going to come and say hello to us. But enough about that. Anyway, I did draw a grandmaster over simultaneous. He was playing 17 of us, and I knew I was doing good because he kept rubbing the back of his head and doing this kind of thing, trying to think of it and taking his time with the moves. He spent a little bit of time over the Williams board because you're just not going to take me down. As our good friend, God, I love this kid, Jason Rojas and Stunt Rock Confusion, two of them took me on last Sunday. Did you hear about this? And they weren't equal to the task. We took them down. We just took them down. I guess it's going to be all about me today. But anyway, Zap's here. Zap Pearl. We love you, Zap Pearl. Holy shit, it's been too long since we've seen you, man. Okay. Did you throw him off by telling him you might be related to him? Wow. You know what? I got to tell you here's another thing. Talking about it being all about me. I found this picture today of my great grandmother. I've never seen this picture today. There's an original. It doesn't have quite the fidelity, but look at this lovely lady. Look at her. That right there is my 2 times great grandmother. Hold it. Let me see if I. Look, you see? Look at me and my granny.
This is all about you.
It is all about me.
That didn't
I know.
sound-
All right, listen. Well, let's get enough of that. All right. Anyway, that's my granny. Look, man, it's been summer. I've been rocking. I've been going to concerts. Captain Spaulding Entertainment is in the house. We love you, Cap. Captain Spaulding's with us. Everybody's here to celebrate all things Norman Maslov today. It really is about Mazzy. Did you catch the exact moment Mazzy overthrew? 45, pretty much. It seemed that we were right there. Let's take a look at the web pages in the channels because I want you to subscribe to both guys. For RPM audio file is the proper channel. We love Michael. You know, Michael was a struggling young content creator, and then what happened was what happened was history. Mazzy got a hold of him, not literally or physically, but he took him under his wing, right? Mazzy is a very experienced guy, big content creator. And Mazzy goes, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help your channel. And Michael, being German, right? He didn't know English. He didn't speak English at the time. Nobody knew about it. And literally, nobody is interested in chess. Nobody. That's not true, Chauncey. It's not true. Mazzy did it. Wow. Yeah. What we're here for, ladies and gentlemen, it's this incredible content creator. And Michael, listen, I make no mistake. I like Michael 45. Michael did me such a solid way back when with the old channel. I love him. I'm a big fan. Michael 45 audiophile. Okay. He's in Germany. He's a Prado Dusseldorf. This is why we're celebrating. Mazzy didn't just take out some schmuck. Okay. Mazzy didn't just take some low-lying fruit out. With all due respect to our LGBTQ plus community, he didn't take some low-lying fruit. He went after the Big Apple. He went after Der Kaiser. There it is, right there. Here's the channel. Let's make it go big or go home. Look at this incredible banner that he's got. Right, he's got Willie Nelson here. Looks like a Beatles tribute thing going. And Neil Young, even along with Pink Floyd. So that's pretty good. There's Michael. And look at that number 45 RPM audio file. There's Michael himself. And I mean, this obviously it's an animation. It's a cartoon type thing. This is Michael if he was like a cartoon kind of guy, but he's not. He's very serious. And his show has evolved so much over the years. It's incredible. 1,100. What? Yeah, he's got a channel. He's got a show. He's got everything. Here's Michael in action. ZZ Top, Trey Embrace, UHQR versus US First Pressing. Gammon Untes und US First Pressing. Gammon. So Michael's in there. He knows his stuff, man. This is a great channel. I'm going to put the link out so people can subscribe. I want to see a lot of you that aren't subscribed supporting this young talent. Okay. This is a young guy. But Mazzy is overtaken him. Mazzy's got the biggest number. And it's just unbelievable. Rachel, you aren't subbed to 40. I'm not subscribed to anybody. I don't watch these videos myself anymore, but I want you people that love this sort of thing. I want you to be subscribed. All right. There it is. Subscribe. I don't even think I'm subscribed to Mazzy. Let's go to Norman Masloff. I love him. Mazzy understands. Mazzy knows. Maybe I'm subscribed. I don't know. Maybe I'm not. I just don't know. Okay, look, I'm not subscribed. But here's Mazzy, 48.1. We got the 48. Mazzy has already gone to 48.1. Mazzy needs my support like a hole in the head. This guy is too big. He's too big for the ghost, and we know it. Sue, Rachel is having a celebration without the celebrant. Listen, it's Saturday, okay? It's temple. Okay, Mazzy's at temple today. Okay. Let's try and keep it real. Mazzy's at temple. He's a devout Jew. That's another thing a lot of people like about this young content creator, Norman Mazzoff. But we're going to go back and we're going to explain. We're going to explain how Mazzy did it, why he's so popular, why he's so loved. Okay. So we don't have Massey. Maybe we'll get Rob Walker. Maybe we'll get Dagon to help. I don't know. We're going to do whatever we can do and celebrate, but we're going to look back and we're going to remember Massey. Okay, that's the thing. It's a time. It's a time of celebration. It's a time to remember.
Let's remember Mazzy's rise to the top.
Yeah, let's. I'm going to show you how good this guy is. This is my buddy Mazzy. I love him. You know, and also I'm his family. Here he goes. Wow. All right, let's get the things out there and support Mazzy. Get out there and subscribe. If you're not subscribed to Mazzy, there's something seriously wrong with you. Okay, I'm going to tell you that right now. Right now, if you're not subscribed to Norman Maslow, there's something seriously wrong with you. So, yeah, yes. This is what I'm talking about. He's like an older uncle that tells stories. Now, listen, our first guest in tribute is one so well deserving. He knows, you know, if there's sex going on in the vinyl communities between these two lovers, here he is. Rob, I love you. You are so close to Mazzy. And also, let's be straightforward about this. Let's be full disclosure. You're Jewish. So you know, yeah.
Rachel,
Yeah.
it seems like you put every stream you ever did in a blender,
Yes.
and this is the result.
And this is what we come out. The bastard child of it all. But no, but my three favorite juice, let's make note of this way. It's Jesus. And listen, I'm not saying in this order. Jesus of Nazareth, great little Bible down. Palestinians got a hold of it. Rob and I are going to talk about why it's got to go back to our beloved fellow Jews. But then there's Rob the Wax and then Norman Maslow. And again, not in any prescribed order. I love them all. But Rob, as a Jew, you're going to be able to bring a special gravitas to the celebration. I mean, I mean, the irony of a Jew taking out this German, it's not lost on our public. All right, this is too intimate.
Hold on.
We're too close.
Rachel.
Let's just bring it back. Go ahead, Rob.
You have a tinge of cough syrup about you today.
I do. Okay. Full disclosure. Rob, I went and I drew in a simultaneous. I was the only board to draw. Nobody beat him. Okay, he took on 17
Where
of
was
us.
this at? Where was this at?
It was at the Beeman Cultural Arts Center here in beautiful downtown Namiamo.
Then why didn't I get a memo?
Well, I mean, Rob, it's in Namiamo. You're not coming to Namiamo. Mitch, Matt, we're here to celebrate.
Rachel, were there tens of people there to watch it?
There was, literally tens of people. There were literally tens of people there to watch it. But it was fantastic. And to draw a grandmaster in the game of chess, something I've loved all my life, playing chess from a little kid, and to do so well. And by the way, Rob, I don't know if you know this, but Jewish grandmasters dominated the sport for over 3 millennia. It is just nuts.
Right, yeah,
how many incredible Jewish chess players are? Rob, have you ever pushed the wood? Hold on, Rob.
To be fair, Rachel.
Rob has pushed wood. I know I know that.
To be fair, Rachel.
Yeah, but
most of those grandmasters are certifiably nuts. They are.
Okay, there is a history of mental illness amongst us. Okay, I'm going to put myself in there. But you know, Rob, some of us are like trans and we're interesting people.
Well, Rachel, did you have the clock thing where you were slapping it?
Oh, Rob. So anyway, what's happened today is we're here, you're here, celebrating all things Norman Maslow. So let's look back. Rob, first meeting with Maz. When did you meet him? How did you meet him? Were you nervous? A lot of kids get nervous. I know, like you're a big content. You're a big name in this business. You probably had maybe tens of subscribers when you first met Norman Maslow.
And you know, after I met Mazzy, I still
Yes.
I still had tens of subscribers.
Why? Okay, they called it. Now, see, we call it the 45 RPM audiophile bump. Michael can
Oh,
do,
no,
he
no, no.
speaks and
Rachel,
people, mountains move.
I coined a phrase for him.
Yeah. Okay, go. I'm curious.
He's the master of the non-sub.
You do not want Mazzy promoting your channel.
You know
what you did, Mazzy. Holy smokes.
45 is the master of the non-sub.
Now, listen, a lot of people don't know this. You and I know it. Mazzy knows it. Intimates know it. I believe Coffee Julie knows it. Mazzy would have told her. You destroyed Mazzy's property. He had a beautiful chandelier that he got for Sears Roebuck.
He had a chandelier
Yes.
that hung at 4 foot.
It was very tiny because for whatever reason, Mazzy wanted low light. Low light. He said, let's keep the lighting low. But he brought a giant of a man in the form of your fine self. But you were angry. Let's put it clearly. You were, Mazzy was,
I believe I said Hulk smash before it happened.
Do you know the truth of this, ladies and gentlemen? I know Rob. Rob was mortified. He loves Mazzy. He's a respectful guy. He felt horrible about it, but he did. It's just, but it was low. And Rob's tall, and I guess Rob stretched. Maybe he was spraying his underarms. I don't know his personal hygiene regimen, but I will tell you this, ladies and gentlemen: the man was mortified. He's like going, "Oh my God, Maz, I feel horrible." I was going to go. Should I go, Maz? He goes, "No, please wait here. I'll deal with him." And Rob, and then when I finally saw him, he was ashen faced. All the color had drained from him. There were little shards around. I go, Rob, are you okay? Of course, my thoughts immediately, because there was blood loss and Rob was bleeding out, but he didn't want to tell Mazzy that he was bleeding out. And so I knew he was gaunt. You were a very gaunt man. And as a result of your gauntness, I said, oh my God, the guy's bleeding out. Sue, we've got to get him to the hospital.
Sue.
Yes.
Can we have a scroll saying this is a work of fiction? What Rachel's doing now?
Holy shit. I mean, this kind of explains baby Thel. Yeah, so much blood. But anyway, we survived it. We got over it. But that wasn't even your first encounter with Maslov. You guys have previously met.
Yes.
Holy shit. Now, did you ever? Yeah, Rob. Yeah.
Me and Mazzy are like this.
Holy crap! That's tighter than most people. But when did you first realize Mazzy was going to be the internet star that he ultimately became?
Yeah.
Yeah, like he became like the big guy. Big deal.
I thought there was negotiating going back and forth that he would be up here right now. What happened?
I don't know what's going on. He was in the peanut gallery a while back. I don't know if he's gone to, because like Yul Brenner, a lot of people don't know this, but you can actually, holy crap, this is crazy, the stuff you learn here. You remember Mr. Clean? He was an incredible bald-headed, sexually desirable sloganeer. Anyway, that Mr. Clean, he always had a shine on the dome. And I'm thinking Mazzy's back buffing, Rob. I think he's going to buff up a bit. He's going to join us. He's going to be here. And we're going to join it. We're going to get his feelings on exactly what happened. How did he become so big? Was he surprised? Oh, I'm sorry, Rob. I'm getting so excited here.
The buffing, I think his version of buffing is different than your version of buffing.
Okay, I don't like this comment. I'm going to call it out right now. Herc, Rob is not like that. That was Mazzy. Mazzy had determined from a young age that he knew once his protege, and let's be clear, Michael 45 was Mazzy's protege. What was his old child? Wasn't it 45 RPM? And then Mazzy convinced him to add the audio file, which was a selling point because it got Steve Westman to give him a shout out. And then everything went nuts in the vinyl community. Once Westman gives you a little blow, you go, whew, you are going to start it. You're going to rock it.
What?
Yeah. I'll do it again in slow motion. Once Westman gives you a little blow, he blows on you. You're going rocking it. You're going to be a number one. And that's where Mazzy finds himself today. Number one, because Westman blowed him so hard. It blew him right to number one. He's blowing hard. He's number one.
What?
Incredible. Number one. Okay. So I, for one, am not surprised. I knew Mazzy had the gift way back when, because he has what's called the gift of gab. He'd tell a story. He goes, "Hi, everybody. A long time ago in San Francisco, because I don't know if you know this, Rob. Mazzy's not from Seattle. He lives there, but he's actually from San Francisco. A lot of people don't know that. Also, Rob, by the way, let's full disclosure. A lot of people don't know that Bob Rob is the talk of Buffalo, New York. Because
No,
Rob, you're Buffalo born and raised. A lot of
no,
people don't know
no.
that. The pride of
I was,
Buffalo.
I
Shuffle
was,
off to Buffalo. That's
I
my
was
buddy
born,
Rob.
Rachel.
Yes.
You know, I was born there.
You
I
were
left.
born a poor black child.
I left when I was 1 years old.
Why'd you leave, Rob? What's happening? What did Buffalo ever do to you?
A
I mean,
cold,
it's a great place.
yeah, a cold chill came out over me.
Yeah.
The numbness of my fingers, and it was probably a realization that you were right across the border.
Ladies and gentlemen, my good friend Mike is here. Hey, Rachel, how are you, my friend? I saw you on the news today. Rob, I was on the local news.
For what? Shoplifting?
For drawing a grandmaster. Mike, did they show the part where I'm all getting a little emotional? I got all teary-eyed because my breast started to heave. That's incredible. Mike, I'm so glad you saw me on the television set. Mike's
How long?
here.
How
It's
long?
Mike.
How long were you on the set? On
I
the
like how much was it a good segment? I want to
Were
look
you
at this
interviewed, or
place.
they
So
just pan the crowd?
they interviewed Rachel. They interviewed the one
Did it go
player.
something like this? Excuse me.
Yes,
Will
I'm
you
sorry. I got a producer's angry. She's feeling a little. Okay, keep going.
I'm gonna look this up. Check TV.
Yeah, check television, local news.
Yeah,
Rob.
yeah. Go pull it off the internet.
Rob, have you ever been on local news highlighted like myself here? Well, you're a movie star. I can understand.
No, I've been on the news.
Have they? Is it one of those kind of people in the street thing? You're on the boardwalk, you're rollerblading, and that ultra hot pink. I love it. It's like that neon color green. You're flowing down the boardwalk, and they go, "Hey, good looking. What's happening down at Muscle Beach?" And then you go, "Hey, how you doing? Really great to see you. Pretty gnarly day. Got to keep blading." And then back on there, and then you rock it. You go. But anyway, Rob, we're here about Mazzy. You're excited. I'm excited.
Yeah, Rachel.
Yeah.
I feel like a stream that is dedicated to celebrating Mazzy without
Yes.
Mazzy being on it.
Yes.
It's just more like a fan fiction situation.
Okay, hold on. Have you ever been interested in doing any fan fiction about Norman, or have you engaged in it? Did you know what fan fiction is? I'll explain it if you do. You write a little story about somebody you love.
No, or not love.
In normal chat.
Okay, there's a link coming. There's a link
Now
coming.
Go to 1302.
And then go to the 1302.
You gotta play it on your show.
I'm from Texas, I can tell. Okay, that's a big hit right now.
Now go to 1302.
Okay, hold on. Sue's putting stuff out there. Listen, I'm very famous. Okay, hold on. Let's see what we got. Now, listen, this could be tough. If they got me in my emotional part of my TV show, holy smokes. Hang on. I guess I gotta watch our own TV show right now. Just a sec. Please be patient, friends. Okay, hold on. Okay, let's do that. Okay, so one of I gotta go in the thing. Okay, here we go. And what? Okay, I get choked up here. Okay, I get choked up. Okay, 1302. Wow, it's a big long newscast. Changing of the guard. That'll get me crying. What was I the lead story?
Go to 14. Go to 14 or something.
Oh my God, I'm trying. I'm sorry. This is not supposed to be about me today.
Go to 4.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, hold on. I'm right after a destroyer. Okay. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, here we go. We got a couple of kids. Okay, Canadian Armed Forces. All right. Hold on. Just Rob, I know you're waiting for this. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Okay, this is Rob. Are you ready? Are you sitting down? Because you might want to be sitting down for this report. I personally have not seen the report. Anyway, here it is. This is today's newscast,
Wait,
August
so are
1st.
they? Hold on.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
the Canadian newscasts, are they required to do it bilingual, like French and English?
I'm going to tell you one thing, Rob. We got PK Renee, new channel name. Where are you on TV going poo poo to everybody, Rob? Fantastic. It's from your arch rival, PK Renee. PK Renee, Rob.
What is PK?
I don't know. Preacher's kid. I don't know. Okay, let's go big or go home. Ladies and gentlemen, here's, we're going to learn about what.
That's quite a blazer that guy's wearing.
Well, this is like he's got a Canadian leave. Let's find out what's going on.
Hosting a special guest from the world of chess today. There are fewer chess grandmasters in the world than billionaires, and one of them was in Nanaimo today to play against some of Vancouver Island's top chess players. Kendall Hansen reports.
Top.
Good luck, thank you. With a handshake and opening move, Sammy Shoker,
Oh,
one of just
there's
1,230 chess grandmasters in the world, starts playing nearly 20 of Vancouver Island's best chess players of all age categories.
Yes.
Now living in San Diego, the French-born Egyptian player has been the French, Arab, and African
He's not
champion
Jewish.
and devotes 5 to 6 hours every day to the ultimate game of strategy.
How do you feel about playing a grandmaster?
I'm excited. I'm going to totally lose, but I'm going to have fun.
I'm excited.
And when I heard that Sammy was coming, I had to sign up.
And even though a grandmaster, he's not guaranteeing he'll win all the games today.
Hold on.
Well, hold on, Rachel. Oh, hold on.
Yeah, go.
Did you think you were talking about Sammy Davis Jr.?
Yeah, you know, Sammy does. What? You know, Sammy does.
Rachel, that clip will be used to death by a lot of people, I think.
All right, you son of a bitch. Okay, I think I get a little teary-eyed later on. I told Sammy.
Can someone edit Sammy Davis Jr. into a clip with Rachel?
Rob, Sammy told me. I told Sammy I wouldn't do this, but anyway, let's keep going here.
20 boards in the same time, it's not so easy, and this is what I always say to chess players. You know,
how old is that guy?
Don't underestimate your opponent.
I think Sammy's 38, 40, something like that now.
Rachel, is it true that chess ages you?
It's true, Rob. Very true. Look at me. Holy smokes. Let's keep going with Sammy.
Don't overestimate your opponent.
But that little kid was 28 years old.
Anyone.
The tournament moves quickly, with each player showing their move, to which Shoker quickly responds. The room mentally intense. While a challenge, it's also meant to be a great learning experience. This happened today
for Duff.
The greatest thing we can do when we're learning from our games is have someone who knows the position very well analyze it for us and show us what we might have missed. You know,
he's a good guy. That's fan.
What we could improve on.
These chess grandmasters, they're kind of built a little bit differently.
Look at that cute little guy.
These photographic memories, and he'll be able to remember every move of every board that he's played. And
okay, look at his gesture with me. Look
Eventually, the players lose one by one, and Shoker gives his advice.
If you take with queen, I can just play this. Then you have to play your queen, and I control IF.
Until this.
Draw? Good job. No, you played well. Yes?
I'm happy.
Yes, but you deserve it. You played a good game and you were almost winning. I was lucky to draw this position.
I'm thrilled, as you can tell. Watch it now. I got a little choked up here, Rob. Over the hill with it.
A chess life highlight.
Yeah, it is the number one. Look, I'm getting choked up.
Did you say you're soaking in it?
A little choked up. Wow. Oh, I'm adorable.
To document it.
Wow, I love the game so much. Yeah. And to have an experience like this, you put a lot into it. Lifetime, really.
Just playing Shoker, a highlight for all the players.
Well, the chess match was 2 hours long, and it's just so hard staying focused for the whole game. He grinds you down. He's a chess master.
It's very good to see that they are very involved, and I really hope a good future for chess here in Vancouver Island.
Shoker says when he got the chance to play the best French player as a child, it propelled his love of the game, and he hopes his involvement today will do the same for others.
What a great story.
All right.
Yeah.
Amazing game.
Yes.
Love chess.
Yes.
Great to see people able to participate. And what a story. It's incredible. What a great moment. Congratulations to
Rachel,
everyone that was involved.
It was a good day to be inside playing chess.
A little breezy.
A little breezy, yeah.
All right. So we're getting into British Columbia weather, what's happening in Victoria. But Rob, this is really what happened today. And you can see I was so emotionally touched because they go, everybody lost except for your best pal, Rachel. And I was in there and I did the big draw. He says I had a 1 position against him. Go ahead, Rob.
How long was the match between you and him? Was it over 2 hours?
I was the last one. Yeah, I would have been about 2 hours. By the time he got around doing everything.
Rachel, can I help you?
Yeah.
You need a little more showmanship. You should have tossed the board over and said, "Suck it, Frenchie."
Anyway, don't you recognize what juice is given to this game? But anyway, incredible. Yeah, so we did the thing.
Suck it, Frenchie.
Listen, easy. We're here for Mazzy. All right.
No, Rachel, is the rumor true that Naomo or the Oceanside Chess
Oceanside Chess Club.
No. Oceanside Chess Van Buren boys. They're gonna erect a statue to you to commemorate this?
Well, it's a big deal. I mean, a lot of people, I think over the history of time, on the outside, maybe 250,000 people, like a lot of people have ultimately drawn a grandmaster, a club player, but I'm a strong club player. Like if I play some of you kids.
How did you qualify to participate?
I had $70 available, Rob.
So you paid.
Yeah, you pay to enter for the privilege of playing a grandmaster.
And he collected the money himself?
Yeah, I mean, some of it goes to the facility, but there's a purse for him. They would have, given him some money for it. But he was just happening to be passing through. I was up to Alaska and stuff. He's based in San Diego now. He's a super nice guy, really nice guy. Okay, Farley, it just happened today. It's coincidental. We're here for Mazzy.
Rachel, to prepare for the match,
yeah.
Did he go up to Alaska and stalk and kill his own polar bear?
He wrestled bars. But, it's great. It's a great deal. He's not a chess master. He's a grandmaster. He got a 2,400 rating. And, go ahead.
Was he playing in competition like when he was a kid?
Yeah, and as an adult, like he's on chess.com. You can see him on chess.com. He's played Magnus Carlsen. I asked him who's the top rated guys you play. He goes, I've played, I forget the guy, Karuna, America, #1 USA. He's the second strongest player in the world as the Karuna kid. And then he's also, I played Magnus Carlsen, and he's played Hikaru Nakamura, all these guys. He played them all.
Now, Rachel, is it true that they were selling chess grandmaster trading cards there? And you got a pack with them?
Do you know what's funny? I got to tell you. Now, Rob, hold on. I want to get, I've always wanted to be myself on an action pack. And I've always said this, we should have vinyl community cards. Like the rarest, the best, got to be a Mazzy card. #1, taking over Michael 45. Rob, did you think Maz would ever be able to do it, or did it not happen? Did you think no?
I had little faith in Mazzy doing almost anything.
Okay, hold on. Scott Wheeler with the story. Now, Scott, like you, is Hollywood. He's in Arizona now, okay? But forget about all that. Scott is Hollywood incarnate. Before I was born, my dad played a group match. You could have been like a little sperm in the left testicle or something. You could have been there. But he was in Venezuela, and he played the Venezuelan national champion. He was the only one, and this is the way it goes with these simultaneous exhibitions, to actually beat the guy. And I mean, to actually defeat the national champion, that guy is going to be either a grandmaster or a master of some sort, because you got candidates master, national master, international master. People, some of you may know Levy Rosman, Gotham Chess. He's an international master. Holy smokes, everything's happening. But anyway, this one I'm talking about. I want to see a whole bunch of vinyl community cards. Rob, you're good with this. Okay. It's called the mock-up. Can you just kind of do a quick mock-up of Mazzy, what you might envision his vinyl community card to be like? And you'd have on the back, you could have stats, owns 5 million records, stylist choice, Nagoka MP 200, something like that. And then you could have turntable preference, gear preference, Bowers and Wilkins speakers, stuff like that, Rob. And that could be some part of his stats. And then number of videos made. Oh, you could just imagine your imagination is the world when it comes to this kind of stuff. I don't think I got enough wine in my cabinet to last this last year. Look at easy now. We've got it all here. Holy smokes. Hey, Rach, if you can have a deck of cards with all your friends on it, how many cards would there be? I'm one of those people. I got a handful of close friends, Mazzy, Rob, PB Thal, and also Kimbo. Then after that, John, Dagon, and then Fluffy. And then after, there's Johnny L. But anyway, after Renee, after that, Chauncey. It's got that weird eye, but that's okay. It's not a thing. They can do so much with laser technology. We heard about this LASIK surgery. Anyway, look into it, Chauncey. I love you. Master Blaster. Don't be playing around with one of them. Holy smokes, I got stories that make your hair turn green. Master Blaster. Rob, do you ever have a Master Blaster?
What the fuck is a Master Blaster?
It could be like a sock or an old shirt or...
All right, Rachel, make me big.
Yeah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Here it is, a world unveiling. This is them. This is the one you want. Vinyl community trading card. Mazzy's Adventures in Vinyl. There's Mazzy with his rubber soul coat. And you got Crate Digger Level 99. Audiophile score. Okay, 98. Beatles Curator. Extra bowling pins. Official VC collector card. Edition 2024. They came out. Holy, I didn't know they was out in 2024. Rob, that's incredible. And then you flip them over and then you got all his greatest stats, most popular video he ever done and whatnot. Anyway, get these. And can you imagine each and every vinyl community member? Yeah, do the rock gods get the limited edition holographic card? I love that idea. Like David Donnelly and Angelo Kelly would be there. Joey, our beloved Joey Kelly, all the rock gods. Well, for God's sake, even Louis Golden could come out with a holographic. Louis got 2 albums under his belt, Rob. Do you have a favorite Louis album? His first one or second one? Which one spoke to you?
Rachel, do you want to see the backside of the card?
I want to see the backside of these vinyl community trading cards. World premiere. We've never seen them before. And here's the initial. Okay. Okay. This is what they look on the backside. Holy. Wow. That's incredible, Rob. But they are a real hot item. And you just want to collect them all. Who would be on the rookie card? That's quick and easy to answer. Fluffy. Fluffy is one of our newest and brightest. You could have a Fluffy like a cheese ball kind of thing. A Fluffy, a sick card, all sorts of stats. And then the big creators like Mazzy could have the shiny foil cards. See, Jen, you're here to make $1 million along with us, okay? Because this is really what's happening. Okay, we got other problems. Okay, I don't know what this is about, DJ, but it's concerning, obviously. Rob, do you know anything about this? Apparently, it went down today. Mazzy and PB Tall took some shots on Wyatt's live stream today, fellows live stream. What the hell's going on? They mean they were taking drinks, or were they popping?
I was out hanging with Jim. I didn't
Christmas tree, hanging Christmas. It's a little early for Christmas. I want an Alex Dickey rookie card. That's what we're talking about. And limited edition, special ones and whatnot. Rob, I think we're onto something. If we produce these things, Rob, how much do you think it would cost if we printed up, I don't know, 100 of each card? And we do maybe, I don't know, 100 of. I got 100 of the vinyl community.
This is easily a money-losing opportunity.
Do you think so? Like, what about the ultra rare Jason Rojas card? And you want to get the first edition that's in turquoise. It's got turquoise writing, which a lot of people don't expect. Some bozo in the comments is saying nasty things about each other. DJ, who's talking bad?
Yeah, we all
Let
know.
me know. I want to. Whoa, what?
We all know who.
Well, DJ he's being very coy about this.
We know who it was.
You know what? You want to know something? Brad Teal ghosted a Caucasian. What the hell's that all about? I heard he was down at the in the Amazon, not Amazon.com, but the big river down there in Brazil and whatnot. Goes all the way through Chile, all the way. What about the ones that have a small artifact? Like baseball cards sometimes have a piece of a bat or a jersey. I love that. A little piece of Rob. Like if you had your card, I would love to get the artifact card of Rob that has a little Adidas logo in the corner and it's got your stats and whatnot, but it's there.
I'm not an Adidas person, Rachel.
Scoozy, you could chop up Rachel's flannels and embed them in trading cards for Patreon. Stream worn jersey. Yeah, like some of my best plaid tops. You know, Rob, we talked about this a few weeks ago, and I don't know why you haven't gotten all in on this. You love Bruce Lee. I love Bruce Lee. Here's Bruce Lee. Here's the legend, Bruce Lee. But this is this is part of his underwear. Okay, and it's from his jock, athletic relic.
Yeah, we don't know that should be.
Yeah, it's official. Congratulations, you got Bruce Lee's underwear.
Smell it, Rachel. What does it smell like?
Spring. Absolutely. Anyway, it's exciting. I think we can make a lot of money this way. But ladies and gentlemen, I digress. Let's go crazy. Oh, Rachel, oh my God. Okay, Rob, what do you think? Emulating yourself? He's gone for the color green.
Yeah, but I don't wear Adidas. I'm not an Adidas person.
What? You're not an Adidas guy?
No.
When did this start happening?
Their sizing is not.
What? They don't. They aren't a Mr. Big and Tall.
No, I like narrow. It's too baggy.
Hi, Wyatt. Welcome to the show. Rob's here. Okay. Anyway,
hold on, Rachel. I believe that's not Wyatt.
Wyatt, you better Wyatt.
No,
That's
Rachel.
Yeah.
That's
Wyatt. I love you. You have been besmirched.
Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead, Rob. Rob's doing due diligence on Wyatt.
You know how I know
Wyatt,
that?
Come on the show because you're a big thing right now in Hawaii.
You know how I know that's not Wyatt?
Hey, Wyatt, I love you, man. I like your work.
When I go to my YouTube, that account doesn't appear.
That account appears.
It's probably Billiam.
He's got 1,000 subscribers.
Rachel.
Wyatt, I love you.
I would ban that account.
It's Wyatt. It's really Wyatt.
Rachel.
Yeah.
He's analog, whatever. It's not. He doesn't use his name.
It's me, Wyatt. I love you. Why are people mad at you, Wyatt? What's going on? I want to know.
He's real to
You're
me.
real. Sue's checked him out. It's due diligence. Wyatt, can you come on the show? I want you to kick back at some of the critics that have given you so much trouble. You are big news in the vinyl community right now. I personally am a fan. I don't subscribe to Mazzy or Michael 45, but Wyatt, I am going to subscribe to you because you are hot right now. You are so hot. You are Ella Langley hot.
He would never say.
He's Hawaii man.
He would never say "love you."
It's my real account, Rob. Grow a pair.
No,
Grow a pair of wax.
Hold on. He wouldn't
Okay,
lowercase. He wouldn't lowercase my name.
Okay, don't. It's definite. Wyatt, get up here so we can prove to Rob I am sick of doubters. There's way too much. Wyatt, welcome to our show. We're celebrating Mazzy. And you know what, Wyatt? The way you're going all hot guns, I think we're going to be doing a tribute for you when you take down Rob the Waxton subscriber followers. Rob, how do you handle it? You get these new kids, they're hot, their channels are going great guns, and you are fighting like hell to stay relevant in a world that doesn't care as much. Okay, we got Tim, University of Idaho. This is another huge channel, incredible talent. Tim, we're celebrating Mazzy. He finally got up and surpassed Michael 45.
Wyatt, be consistent. Come
Rob,
on here.
you are so wrong about this. Apologize to Wyatt right now.
Come on here with your analog one if that really is you.
Wyatt, come on up just briefly and say hello to your fan base, your growing fan base.
Use your analog account.
Okay.
Rachel, you got me for another 15 minutes.
Okay, what's going on, Rob? Like you got a big evening? You got a big date tonight? What's going on?
I'm going to go play chess, Rachel.
Okay, Leon Finst. Okay, Rob. Holy smoke, I respect that. Okay, Wyatt, tell Rob to shove it up his ass.
Yeah,
Leon
Rachel, that is not
what?
Cleveland. That's
what
not
the hell is going on here?
That's a fake account.
It's the Carver say, go up, Wyatt. Better late than never, I suppose, says Brant. Hi, Brant. We're celebrating Mazzy finally overtaking Michael 45.
When did Rachel? When did it happen?
What?
Were you shaken awake when it happened? Like a third?
Do you know what's weird? I'm going to tell you something. I got okay, hold on. It's Living Sound Lab. It's me, you son of a bitch. Wyatt, I love you. So quickly, give a wrench to Wyatt. Wyatt, why are people so upset with you? Why? Okay, Rob, you tell me. Wyatt right now is a lightning bolt.
I brought him up.
Yeah, he's real.
I brought him up to this.
Whoa,
place.
hold on. What are you talking? Are you claiming? I'm not sure I'm hearing it right. Are you claiming that Wyatt's success is due to you shouting him out to promote his channel?
Hold on, Rachel.
Wyatt, I love what you're doing. But you're making a big wave.
I know you're on a high of beating Rachel.
Big fan. Interview me on your show. It's so hot right now. You're so hot right now.
Rachel.
Yeah.
I know you're still on cloud 9 from beating the Grandmaster big forehead guy.
Yeah.
But
he's Egyptian. You've seen the pictures. They're all in profile normally, but you know.
Did he play you like this?
Always walk like an Egyptian. I like that song. But
Rachel,
anyway, it's so good.
Rachel, did he do this to start the game?
Some beam. Holy smokes. I tell you, okay, Tim goes, okay, damn, it was bound to happen. Mazzy running labs on M45, content format right there. All right, let's make it happen. We'll rock. We'll talk about Rubber Soul, man. It's coming out. We're going to go to buy it.
I haven't watched it yet, but I heard a rumor when Wyatt
Hi, Dex, I love you. Yeah.
Rachel, I haven't watched it yet, but I heard a rumor that when Wyatt was interviewing Patrick.
Yes.
Part of it is they were doing techniques of tying their hair back in a ponytail.
Holy smokes. Wyatt, Rachel is relying on you to revive. So true, Herc. Thank you. Bless you. No, but Rob, this is crazy. Have you been on the Wyatt Show to be interviewed yet? Because everybody's wanting to get interviewed.
Rachel, here's the deal. Do you want to hear a story or do you want to I tell it?
Okay, listen, I don't know why you're so temperamental. Maybe it's because Mazzy's got a little too much attention right now and you're struggling. But okay, let's hear it. What do you got for me?
So when Wyatt came on the scene,
yes,
a lot of people were doubting him.
Yes, there were doubts.
I did give him the nickname of the Hawaiian guy.
The Hawaiian guy. And people know why it is the Hawaiian guy.
I would like credit that I am the master nickname giver, and aren't I?
Yes.
Don't I give the best nicknames?
You give great nicknames, Rob.
Okay, so I gave him the Hawaiian guy.
Yes.
But then he came by in the chat, and I said, listen, what? We communicated. I said, why don't you just come up so people can get to know you and know you're not, because the thought was that he was a hologram. Yes. So, yeah, I don't like.
Powerful,
You like being
powerful
interrupted?
comment. Powerful
Do you
comment.
like?
Does anyone like being interrupted? Let's think
So-
about it that way.
So I
Look at
feel
that.
like
It's got a little flower, a palm
I
tree,
feel-
orchid, palm tree, coconut. Nothing could get more Hawaiian than that, Rob.
Rachel, do you want to see a comment from?
Have you ever been to the Big Island, Rob?
Yes.
Also, I'm going to tell you something.
I can't talk with any of these fucking idiots here.
Okay, sorry, Rob. Go right ahead. I'm getting the producers to please let Rob speak.
Thank you. Slap more there, Sue.
Oh, stop it.
You know, Sue, I think she's not been right since she cried at the chess. So Rachel.
Yeah.
I feel like I gave Wyatt an opportunity to show he's a real person.
Yes.
And I want to show you the feedback I got from having him. He's been on my stream twice. He was on the other day.
All right.
Here's a comment.
Okay.
From
ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining us, Rob is reading some of the great comments. This is Wyatt coming. Love the discussion and banter. This is from Spartacus. As always, I must say I was a strong critic of Wyatt, but he has grown on me and is a nice addition to your panel. Rob, I love that comment. This is why there's so much. Okay, let's do this. Let's build on this. There's momentum here. Jason Rojas, get him on your panel. Let's build bridges. Let's not tear down walls. Build bridges.
Rachel, I'm not going to paddle Jason Rojas.
Why would you not want this young kid? Do you know he did a recent video? I just came across in my recommended feed, as it should. Jason's putting out great content, talking about something about music or other, but it had like over 800 views, Rob. Over 800 views. I don't know if you can even comprehend what that kind of number is like, but that's a huge fan following.
Rachel, do you want me to get angry?
Whoa, Rob.
I blame all these people for not making me a bigger star in the vinyl community.
Okay. Rob, hold on, man. Rachel, did you bring your Astro Boy for good luck today? Sue, Astro Boy. Let's say you asked for him, we got him. Hey, look, Rob, it's Astro Boy. He's adorable. Look at that. Is that a face that lodged?
Was there anyone there that played have good luck trinkets with them? Like a rabbit's foot or something?
Oh, you could just adjust his little feet.
She's not paying
that much. Well, I'm sorry, Rob. It's Astro Boy.
Rachel, did any of the players bring trinkets of good luck like a rabbit's foot?
No, there's nothing. You don't just listen, Rob. It's a game of logic. It's cutting, piercing logic and intuition pattern recognition. Okay, it's a great question. A lot of people are wanting to know how to be big stars, like new up and coming superstar Wyatt in Hawaii. A lot of people are wondering what's lightning in a bottle like.
I have the perfect response to Fluffy.
Okay, listen to this, Fluffy. Rob's an old veteran. He'll help you get those subscribers.
Yeah. When people walk up to you, Fluffy, the best thing is to not burst into tears and wet your pants. Okay?
All right. Well, that's kind of me.
You're going to drop a link?
I'm dropping a link. Wyatt, hit this damn thing right there. Hit it and get the hell up here.
By the way, you're going to regret it coming up here.
I don't think so. You know why? Because we're talking about Norman Rockin' Sock'em Maslow. This guy's a big channel, and he's getting bigger all the time. He's like the Blob. You ever see the Blob, Rob? 1958, Steve McQueen. You go into a movie theater, and you're watching it, and then suddenly some gelatinous goop. It just keeps growing and growing and growing. And if you put it in a stick and you turn it upside down, because, it's all getting goopy. Then you turn it up, it'll suck your arm right up.
Right. Did you like
the Blob can do.
Did you like the remake with Kevin Dillon as the lead?
That was so scary, Rob. The remake was so frightening because there's no way to stop a blob.
that director just passed away the other day.
Oh no.
Chuck
Oh
Russell.
no.
But did you ever see the movie The Stuff?
Yeah.
She's not paying attention.
How does one continue to fall in love with the vinyl community? Great question, Brad. You watch the content, you do it. Okay. Yes, please,
hold on.
Wyatt.
Can I answer that question? Can you put it back up?
Yeah, sure.
Not
that. Okay, hold on.
How does people continue?
Wyatt, we're getting Wyatt, please.
Right.
This is so
An
big.
industrial size of Vaseline and a box of tissues.
That's a great question. Why is Sally? It's not Sarah, it's Sally. Sally Jesse Raphael. Glasses becoming popular because they were great, oversized, red beauties that a lot of people, red is a color of excitement. I don't know, and passion. I hope a lot of people know that. Okay, we also got another passaging. Rob, Sopranos, you're a big fan. Because of the Italians, you love the IDs. Big Pussy from The Sopranos just died. Rob, emotions must be high, running high. Big Pussy dead.
Eventually,
Big Pussy, Rob.
Eventually, big pussies do die. They dry up and die, right, Rachel?
Not if they're properly lubricated. There's all sorts of over-the-counter products that I can recommend on tomorrow morning's program. And don't think this Mazzy celebration is going to end here with Norman tonight. Oh, no. We're going hard at it tomorrow morning, where the party and the celebration will continue. Robert, are we going to get you on tomorrow morning show? Oh, say yes. Hurry, Wyatt.
Maybe. I'm not going to go to the flea market tomorrow. I'm going to stay home.
Well, I sure hope so, man. I sure hope so.
Well, Rachel, if you don't continue to interrupt me when I talk, I might come up.
Okay, Rob, I'm so sorry. We try and keep it going here, but I don't know. Do you feel that you've lost a step since Mazzy gained a couple? Like, it's almost like one of those inverse relationships where the one guy goes up and the other one is sucking the life out of you. And he's getting stronger.
Hold on. Isn't the premise of this stream that 45 is going down and Mazzy's going up?
Mazzy shot him
down. Not me.
Yeah, I want a big shout out to Loki, who came up with the original concept. But Loki, please forgive me. I had to, over the top, the wrestling, the Stallone thing, I had to put Mazzy in an American Beautiful little Sopwith type camel. And then, but did you notice we put 45 in like a 9-decker or something? We got him in a Fokker, okay? We put him in a Fokker, a red Fokker. Fucking great. Okay. There was some problems. He was 80 and he was over 8. So you can take a guess as to what could have happened.
Well, what are we talking about?
We're talking about more Hollywood's passings, directors, large. Big Pussy passed away. Heavy set, large, and some said engorged. Some actually went so far. Someone went so far as to say he was engorged. Big Pussy no longer with us. I tried to message Mazzy on the Instagram. He was active 15 minutes ago. How is he able to resist this? It is sure nice. Mazzy's busy. He could be out with Coffee Julie. Anything could be going on. Okay, here we go. Our new friend. He's bigger than gold right now. Wyatt, you're the
everyone.
Holy smoke. You're the biggest thing since Pineapple Pizza. We love you. Welcome aboard. You are doing great. When did you first start to develop the Mike Esposito kind of, the records, that kind of look? The beard, the balding, the kind of fire.
Well, this is just how I look. This is just me.
So it's all natural. It's not.
It's all natural.
It's not artifice. Like a lot of people get involved in the game. They start thinking, oh, I'm going to be big. I'm going to be big like Mazzy. But you're doing it. You're actually doing it.
Hey, well, I live on Maui, and I don't know anyone that's in the records here. So I'm kind of alone in that sense. Yeah, so that's part of me making a YouTube channel. I kind of wanted to reach out and see if there was a community I could connect with.
Well,
And here I am.
you found your people. We're all over the world, but this is fantastic. Your biggest thing going in Hawaii right now. Now, you just saw earlier, if you were lucky enough to see me, and I was kind of a little misty-eyed on local television, has local Kawanahola 5 come over to the house and said, "Hey, we want to talk to you." And by the way, while I got a native Hawaiian here, what the hell was going on with Hawaii 5-0 when Cam Fung played Chin Ho? What the hell is with Cam Fung playing Chin Ho? Why didn't he just go with Chin Ho? It would have worked for me. Go ahead, Rob.
I think Wyatt might be a little young to know Hawaii 5-0.
What?
I know it, but I know it, but I haven't watched all the Hawaii 5-0 to be honest.
Okay, it's a very popular police drama.
There was a recent version of it.
What?
We're talking about the Jack Lord one.
I'm talking the original with James MacArthur, James Bloody MacArthur, Rob. And by the way, I got to tell you something, Wax. You have got a MacArthur-like likability factor that I think is putting you on the road to success, because there's nothing that James MacArthur couldn't do. When he go book him, Dano was the guy. A lot of people watch that program.
Can you make me big?
My pleasure. Please bear with us. We got to make Rob a little bigger.
That's all right.
Okay, here we go. Zulu as Kono. Yeah,
Nice.
so this is the kind of thing I'm talking about, Rob. Cam Fung as Ching No and Zulu as Kono. Like, just go with your natural, because I think that would have all worked.
Rachel, can I do my Jack Lord?
Rob, do you do a Jack Lord? Young person, Wyatt, you're too young for this. Jack Lord was an elderly. He once played Felix, what's his name, in the Bond films. But anyway, CIA. Okay, we're going to see a Jack Lord impersonation, newcomers. Here we go.
Like, there's a pause in the song, the theme.
All right.
It's him going. Where it zooms in on him.
Yeah. It goes. Boom. Yeah, that's right. But he wouldn't smile because Jack was tough, and he had the kind of the spit curl like Superman.
How long had the first series? It ran for like 20 years.
I believe it ran for 37 years, Rob. 37 years.
And then he just stayed and lived there.
He stayed because he became a part. Now, local legend says he was not well loved in the local Hawaiian thing. Okay. Also, Wyatt, being a music lover like you are, audiophile, obviously, Don Ho, legend. Did you ever have a chance to interview Don Ho on your great program?
Well, no, Don Ho actually passed away years ago. So
he did.
Yeah, he did. He was still doing shows up to the end, though.
Were you able to get a hold of him and interview him before his untimely end?
Don Ho lived on Waikiki, not in.
He wasn't on the Big Island?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure where he lives.
How long does it take you to get to Waikiki?
From Maui?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's like only like a 30 or 40-minute flight. It's really quick.
No, but aren't there
canoes and stuff? Like I've seen the
paddling. Probably takes a lot longer that way, I would say.
I've seen the paddling.
We used to have a super ferry.
Yeah.
We used to have a super ferry, but it went out of business. So they were doing back and forth tours.
There was a super ferry in the chat, Rachel, right?
All right. There's a lot. But listen, Rob, we're LGBTQ friendly right here, but let's hear something very positive right now. Wyatt, this is for you. Hawaii guy will soon surpass M45. And when that happens, Wyatt, we're going to be here to celebrate you. It's all going to be about you, how you got your start in Hawaii. How did you choose which island? I mean, you're in Hawaii. There's so many islands. You know what I would do? I would choose the island without the volcano that's going to blow up and kill me. That would be my choice. That would be decisive in my choosing which Hawaiian island. Rob, do you have a favorite island? Do you have a favorite?
How many islands? How many islands are
there's about 27 islands. A lot of people don't know this. There's the big islands, and then there's numerous little islands that no one even knows.
What is the least inhabited island in Hawaii?
The least inhabited.
Niihau is one of them, and there's I think that might have been. There's one that only Hawaiians live on.
You know what is that? Did you now? I assume you're a native, you're Polynesian of some stripe.
Well, I moved here when I was 5 years old, so I'm a
Polynesian.
local.
You are
Yeah.
Polynesian. So, I mean, it's just crazy with your island.
Wait,
Yeah,
Wyatt.
Yes.
Rachel lives on an island.
I do live on an island.
Where do you live?
Island girls. Okay, listen to
What's
this.
the population of all of Vancouver Island?
Great question, Rob. What's the population, Sue, of Vancouver Island? Could you go get the artificial intelligence on it? We're going to come back to you with that answer shortly. How did you get your start? Because Mazzy, it just couldn't be bothered. Let's make it more about you. How did you get your big start?
Well, a lot of you may be surprised that I've only been making videos for just about 5 months.
What?
Yeah.
5 months? You're hotter.
Yeah.
You're hotter than Ella. What's her name? Ella.
Well,
Langley?
I started a little controversy. I didn't intentionally know what was going to happen. Well, you remember the whole Super Sense lacquers, right?
Oh, yeah.
They're charging $700 for a lacquer, right?
Nuts.
Well, what started my whole little thing, and I'm still learning, coming into this hobby.
Yeah.
But when they went on Steve Westman's, they did their whole interview.
Yes.
And someone asked what happens when you wear out the tape to cut these lacquers. And he was just like, oh, well, I just order another copy. And so I'm like, so you're getting a one-off copy of an original master tape pulled out of the vault, baked every single time.
Yeah.
So you need another copy. So that was like a bell in my head. Like, there must be a digital step. Now, that was just me. You know what I mean? So I made a video. I called it out. I was concerned.
You applied what's called logic. Now, were you aware at the time that the vinyl community runs on pure red hot emotion, and that anytime logic is introduced, you're going to offend and vilify about 99% of them?
Well, I learned pretty quick.
I kind of like the love stream.
Hey,
Might
Rachel,
we have a link for Wyatt?
Rachel,
yes.
I'm going to leave, but do me a favor.
For fuck's sake, thank God Loki isn't here to see this rubbish. What the hell?
Hold on. Rachel, do me a favor, please.
That's a hurtful comment.
Rachel, I'm going to leave.
Rob, go, buddy, please. Yeah.
Can you do me a favor?
Yeah, what's going on, buddy?
Please do not introduce Wyatt to the Rotten Tomato, okay?
Sarah, I love you, Sarah. I hope you're watching still. We love Sarah.
Why you don't want to meet the Rotten Tomato?
True. Okay. Listen, she covers hot button topics, Rob, what we call hot buttons topics. Hey, Gilligan's Island was near Nanaimo. Rachel sacrificed Skipper and ate his fatty heart raw. That is horrible. I did love that show, and I was so sad. And I met Don Wells. I don't know if you know this, Wyatt. I met Don Wells. I also met the Skipper. I met the Skipper on 2 different occasions. And by gum, those actors were as real and as lovable as the characters they portrayed on television for children all over America.
Rachel, please understand you're talking to a guy that's like half your age.
Okay. We'll speed it up for the young people.
It's okay.
Okay, we'll make it topical for you.
You need to give a
Stranger
reference.
Things, did it scare you, and did you understand the 1980s references?
I actually didn't watch all of Stranger Things. That's kind of not my generation. I'm a little older than that. Yeah.
A little older. We can work with this.
Yeah,
We're going to take it back a little bit back.
I'm gonna guess. Talk to Wyatt about that show Lost. I think that might be in his wheelhouse.
I remember Lost. Yeah.
Yeah, Lost was great. Now, do you remember that there were bears that would show up and people didn't know why? It was kind of tropical, like Hawaii. And there was bears and there was smoke. Remember, smoke was everywhere. And that could have been symbolic. Some argue that it could have been symbolic. But hold on. The Brady Bunch went to Hawaii. Were you aware of that? Why that a little bit behind you before?
I'm sure they did.
They did a remake.
Yeah, a lot of the Haunted Idol.
Yeah. Hey, PB.
A lot of those old sitcoms did that.
Wow.
Came to Hawaii and did an episode.
I really love this comment. Ginger really did it for a young Reverend rock and roller. Holy smokes, was she?
Hey, Rachel. Yeah. Could you sing to the Rev Boop Boopy Doo?
Boop boopy doo. Boop boopy doo. Boop boop boopy doo. Oh! Fantastic, Rev. We love you. Holy smokes. He's got a great channel. He is more active on what's called the Instagram. Please follow the Reverend Rockarella Instagram. Absolutely brilliant stuff.
I just wanted to let everyone know I'm on my phone, so I cannot see the comments right now. So if there's a question for me, please just.
You don't want
Okay,
to.
let's do it. Let's open the floor up. Rob, I'm
You don't want to
sick
see
to
any
death
of this.
of you stealing Wyatt's thunder. First of all, you didn't believe it was him, fearing that he might come up and steal your thunder because he's a high rising talent.
Rachel,
we got
I have
him.
0 thunder.
What? You got thunder?
thunder.
Rob, you got thunder? I refuse to believe it. Okay, Wyatt. Questions for Wyatt, and just line up and start firing fast.
All right, Rob.
Your questions.
I'm gonna leave. See you
Rob,
guys.
we
later.
love you. It's question time. Write your question for Wyatt in the peanut gallery when you go.
I hope you don't ruin his experience.
All right, here we go.
It's okay. I can handle.
All right, Wyatt, here we go. This is great to have you here. We're celebrating all things Mazzy. Were you aware that Mazzy was in a knockdown drag out with Michael 45 RPM audio file? Incredible channel. They're both great channels, but we could see it. Us in the kind of peanut gallery, we were looking, we were watching what was going on, and Mazzy slowly kept grinning. He just kept going. And you are doing the same thing right now. Don't think we aren't watching, but I'm watching you starting to crawl up and start to challenge Rob the Waxed. And I think that's a little bit why Rob had to leave early, a little threatened. It happens. The old dog's the old guard. Okay, here's our first question. I have a question. Tony, 2 for the truck, the pride of Pennsylvania. Pepsi or Coke for you?
Pepsi or Coke? Original Coke.
Original
glass bottle.
Coke Classic. We call it Coke Classic. Were you aware, because you're so young, did you? Oh, okay. Question for your ears. There's a lot of history in this question. When are you going to be interviewing the legend that is Tony Banks from Genesis? Tony Banks.
Oh, that would be great. I would love to start interviewing some musicians at some point.
Yeah.
I want to get a laptop so I can be off my phone. Right now, I'm just using my phone, and it works. But the only thing is, it's so compact. Like I only see our 2 squares of us, but I don't see anything else.
This is
so
why
it's harder to interact. You know.
This is why I sit where I sit, and you sit where you sit.
Thank you.
We're going to keep you all comfortable. I'll take care of it. I'll do the heavy lifting. You sit there, be your beautiful self, Wyatt. So proud to get this young talent right here, world debut on the Ghost. Okay, this is kind of crazy, but we're going to take it on. A question for Wyatt. What is the significance of 106? 106. Do we have that clip? Can you get the clip? We'll get the clip so you understand what 106.
I'm not sure what 106 is referencing to.
Yeah.
We'll get you caught up.
Yeah, we're going to get you caught up to speed, Wyatt, so that you can, just like a glove, you fit right in here. We're going to play a clip of 106 for you, Wyatt. And maybe we're going to have we're going to put you in a hot seat, and we're going to get you to review what you experienced. 106. Okay, it's coming up pretty damn quick here. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right. Okay, we got the clip in question. We got it all fired up. Going to run through the pipeline. Sit back. Why just enjoy if you indulge. I don't know if you drink it all. Maybe AA for you. I'm not sure. But anyway, here we go. We're going to go all big screen. Enjoy.
Cheers.
106.
Yeah, I know. Like I said, it's 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106.
Hello, can you hear me?
106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106.
Hello, can you hear me?
106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106.
Wow. That was fantastic. Thank you, Renee.
106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106, 106.
Hello, can you hear me?
106, 106, 106, 106.
Wow.
Well, I think it's 106. All right. Holy smokes. So that's 106. It was a big hit.
I loved it.
Yeah, a few years ago. It took off like Taylor Swift. A lot of the younger kids were Swifties, I think they call themselves. They were phoning in. You can't believe what was going on. Our phones were going off the line. They were going, what is 106 and where can I get a hold of that for my own collection? Wyatt, obviously you're one of our bigger Beatle fans around here. Pretty excited about Rubber Soul. You going in for the full deluxe record? You got to go for the CD. You're going to go for maybe just the double album. How are you going to handle Rubber Soul when it's coming out? And the children here that watch this program, so many Beatle fans amongst us, and they just love that group. Yourself, obviously, you're excited.
Well, I just did a video on this, giving my perspective.
Excellent.
And honestly, I'm kind of going to pass on it because the only thing I'm really interested in the box set is the mono LP. I'm not really interested in all these remix, all this extra stuff, where all those outtakes will eventually go on streaming and all that stuff. So right now, the mono masters are not available to the public at a low price. And that was one of my criticisms, that the only way to get it is you got to spend $230. But they're going to release the stereo remix for $40 as a standalone. So as an analog purist and someone that knows Beatles, honestly, I would just rather get the mono, and I think they should always be available for like $30. You know, the mono box set is ridiculously expensive.
They are expensive, and they've released it twice now. Of course, this is the beauty about the Beatles in mono. They've released it twice. That is just crazy. Now, I can see why you're a lightning rod of controversy with a hot take like that. So have you released the video? Are the fans weighing in going, hey, Wyatt, are you crazy? What are you talking about? Like, we just want all our Beatles. We've got to get so many Beatles.
Hey, I have nothing against the release. I think it's really cool if there's new things that people want to collect. You know, it's definitely collectible. I just, you know, for me, I would be interested in getting the monos again. The 2014 monos are over $100 now, you know, and I find it a little strange that out of all bands in the world, that these are not available for a lower price. So that's my opinion. You know, when you remix everything, it's like changing. In my video, I said, are you going to change Shakespeare hundreds of years later and just rewrite it to make it more understandable?
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of what you're doing with the Beatles. So that's my perspective.
Well, it's like Hollywood, like they're doing all these remakes and they say they put the tagline for a modern audience. The Beatles for a modern audience. In other words, it's almost like, oh, for a modern audience, you just want crap. Like you don't want fidelity. You describe yourself. Some people hate the word audiophile. Do you embrace it, or do you say no?
Oh, I embrace it. I'll tell you how simple it is.
Okay.
Audiophile isn't an expensive record. Audiophile is a record that got the best source, hopefully the original master tape that was uncompressed.
Yeah.
And then it's the mastering. So a great mastering engineer that knows what they're doing. And then if you're lucky, a good vinyl compound. Now we're getting premium black vinyl compounds for $30 from Rhino Reserve. You don't have to spend $60 from Analog Productions to get it anymore. And so that's it. Now everything's individual, you know. So that's how I look at it.
Holy smokes. Wyatt, I can see right now you're a firebrand of controversy. Like it's all starting to make sense now. You're hot take on audiophile, mono tape. You're just running the full gamut. Why is it that young Vancouverite Steve Westman has embraced you, taken you under his wing, so to speak? And I think he's given you a little bump in your popularity as well. Steve's a great guy, down to earth. I've met him. He's just lovely. But do you worry that all this accolade, all this attention, it could go to your head? It could cause trouble.
No.
So you go, I'm great now.
I'm not that kind of person. So
we have too many of them in the vinyl.
So when everyone came after to attack me, it didn't faze me. I wasn't hurt by it. You know what I mean? It just made me stronger, more motivated to learn more, you know?
Yeah. Like, here's the deal. Like, who was your biggest critic? Was it PB Tull? I know PB Tull's very vocal.
No,
Very
Michael
vocal.
Fremer. Michael Fremer.
Remember?
Yes, because the Super Sense thing. Because remember, he represented Super Sense. He was
He
hired to
did.
go to Vienna, drink their wine, and promote their new product.
I like that. Drinking
And
their wine. There's a little bit of, a little bit of the graft going in there, if you know what we're talking about there.
so he went after me hard. And it's funny because I just killed him with kindness, and I just told him how it was. I was not intimidated. But I think what bothered him the most is I sort of come off like an investigative journalist. And knowing that that's his history, he
He
sees a
loves
young guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he sees me presenting myself that way.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that was intimidating. I don't know. I have nothing against Michael Firm. I'd love to interview him sometime if he would want to meet me. You know what I mean? I'm open like that.
We interviewed him on this very program. Very likable guy, down to earth, funny guy. And but here's the thing: are you Jewish at all? I'm just curious.
No.
Consider
I'm not.
converting. It'll help you get them on. I converted during a brief period of weakness,
Okay.
but it really did help me to kind of rope Fremer in. Okay, listen, young people, let's get this straight. Mono is not inferior to stereo, but they will tell you that when it comes to Beatles for sale, stereo's the way to go for Beatles for sale. I got them both. I disqualified myself as I done them both. For you, what do you think, Wyatt? Do you prefer Beatles for sale as stereo or mono?
I think I prefer the mono because for me, if it was originally recorded in mono, then that's what I prefer. So when they started doing the panning and everything, it's like,
yeah,
I get it, but it just, if it's not recorded in a stereo way, then, I'm not really interested.
Yeah, so you want to hear it like the Beatles, of course, they always infamously, they would listen only to the mono mix. Then they'd go, come on, let's go for a fag. And then they'd head out, they'd leave the engineers alone at the desk. And then who knows what the hell happened, but they would get in there and they'd do all sorts of tricky dickety, and they would make a stereo mix. The Beatles had nothing to do with it. Sergeant Pepper in mono is the way to go. Mono for Pepper.
Yes, it is.
It's very different. I will tell you one thing. I don't know, Wyatt, if you've noticed this, but the pacing, the clip, whatever the hell they done, it's so different in mono, in stereo, on the good morning, they're doing all this, and then you hear this. Now in the mono, it goes like this. It's kind of there. But in the stereo, it's like a guitar or like a chicken that turns into a guitar. And then
right.
Well,
so that was the reason of
and it sounds so different. So it conjures up two different visuals. One is like a chicken, like a rooster going that suddenly turns, you're all on your acid, you're smoking something, and you hear the and you go, oh man, the rooster just turned into a guitar, man. That is so cool, Beatles. Then, but if that's stereo, but if you're in the mono, then it's like the dogs, and they are, and it's just simply a bugle sound that you're going to hear on the hunt with the dogs and the fox and the hounds and the whatnot.
Yeah, so it's really individual.
Yeah,
it's really individual preference. I think that sometimes it helped fix the recording. Like if there was things in the mono that were not perfect, then then and maybe that's kind of like what we're trying to do with this new Beatles is the newest reproduction of that. And whatever, But for me, I'm always about what was the intention of the original recording. In all my videos, I at the end I say, let's keep the signal pure. So,
well, I like that. That you're talking fidelity, right? Truthfulness in music, right? True to the artist's intent, because that's really what you want to do. And they could do a lot of stuff with it's like I do a lot of genealogy there, Wyatt. And so I just did one I showed at the top of the show, my great granny. And somebody had a picture, but the original had a big tear through it. So I digitally, through artificial intelligence was able to reconstruct my great-great-granny's likeness. But is it a true likeness? It's hard to say. When the original source has been damaged, sometimes we're left to artificial means to make what we can do with what we do.
Hey.
And sometimes people are calling like Born Again for Black Sabbath. You listen to P.B. Thel, he'll tell you that record desperately needs a remixing, a remastering. Fix it. It can be fixed. It needs to be fixed. They got to do it. What's your thoughts on something like that, where the original source material, it didn't live up to potential, and now we have the means to improve, and maybe we should? Or do you say no, it's the history, it's a mosquito stuck in amber?
I'm completely for it. I'm completely for it if it's the right mastering engineer. If it's someone like Bernie Grundman or Kevin Gray who know how to fix something in the analog domain, then I'm totally for it. I mean, look at the story of how Steve Hossman did the Hotel California, which I did a video on. Okay. He had to fix a very specific problem with that, because the original recordings apparently had these big studio monitors in the room, but they were not placed correctly. So it completely interfered with, I can't remember if it was the bass or something. So it was a big problem. And he overcame it. And that's why that pressing is revered. So I do believe in that. It's an art. Otherwise we would upload our CDs to our AI and remaster our own music. But we're not.
There was a problem with skylarking coming out of XTC, and Todd Rundgren, I guess he reversed the signal so that left and right got mixed in the original, and the right speaker became left and left became, and so then subsequent recordings, reissuings of that album corrected that oversized double LP. It's a great album. A lot of people love it. But what do you think about a situation like that where, they got reverse polarization here in the signaling, so left speaker is right, etc., and we've got to fix that up and make it play right? What do you think about that?
Hey, if it's the right decision, then do it. You know what I mean? It's individual to each situation. I don't think there is a right way of doing it. I think we want to try to stay as close to the original pure signal as possible. But we also need to step back and say, hey, could we make this better?
I think your heart's in the right place. I like Wyatt. I don't know where the hell this controversy came from, where the kickback was coming from. Fremmer, take a giant step back and get on this man's show and get him, allow yourself to get into a good conversation, be interviewed. We love you, Michael.
Well, a lot of people didn't like that. I went after the new Pet Sounds one step, and a lot of people didn't like that.
Are you a Beach Boy fan? First of all, you're on an island.
I like some Beach Boys. I'm not a diehard fan. I like some Beach Boys. If I'm in the mood for it, right? Pet Sounds is great. But when I saw that it's $100 for another Pet Sound for one, I'm like, okay, well, what's going to be special here? Well, then it was sort of we misled the community. At first, it was announced that this was like the 1972 Brothers master tape. But then Steve Westman's interview came along, and they verified that they couldn't find that tape, and they had a 1975 dubbed already pre-EQ'd tape. And what they did is they played it next to a 1972 pressing, and they made a executive decision, that this sounds exactly the same. This 1975 tape has to be it. But the problem there is that 1975 tape was already pre-EQ'd. That is not the raw master. That's not an audiophile record. So it may sound better to a lot of people, and I haven't gotten it, but I've heard it sounds great. So my attack was never on the sound. To me, when you promote something as audiophile and I'm going to pay $100, you better give me the best source, Because
they're demanding top dollar for these records these days. Vinyl is becoming increasingly expensive. Now, here's a case in point that we experienced where a couple of years ago, we're over at Norman Masloff, the hero of today's episode. Mazzy, we love you. Congratulations. #1 channel, Vinyl Community, incredible. But we were over there and we were listening to the Rhino release. Everybody was raving about it of a Black Sabbath debut album. Mazzy, though, he had a greenie, so a U.S. first press of the same album, and we played the Rhino reissue. Everybody was saying this is faithful, and I got to tell you, we were in the room. Mazzy dropped the needle, and that's stylist for you audiophiles, and it just played so beautifully. And Rob the Wax, who was just with it, we both leaned forward in our chairs and go, that one. We knew right away the fidelity, the power, the impact of that original U.S. first pressing, the greenie. We loved it, and it had the depth, it had the sound stage, it had everything going for it. That's the one we said hands down is a vastly, vastly superior product to that. And that's part of the problem when you're buying some of these albums. Of course, we do have the luxury for a while, God rest us all, of having, like, I've got all the original monos of the Beatles catalog. I got all the OG, I've got the 2014 box. I got all those guts, and I can put them. I got stereo. I got them all, and I got Canadian, Canada. I got the US. I got them all. And I got to tell you, the British first pressings are the way to go, which kind of speaks to your strength. Wyatt, what's the intention? What did they listen to? But I just happen to have a killer sound system. I got these Harbes rocking in behind me, DXL specials, deluxe.
Well, I just listened to the Rhino Hi-Fi Black Sabbaths because I just got those, and I enjoyed them. I don't have a greenie, and I totally trust that, because I know that there's a huge difference when you hear certain originals that it's just more open and more expansive in just a bigger way. But I was pretty impressed with the Rhino Hi-Fis for what they are for $40. It's
there you
impressive.
go. I like it. And now I'm going to extend your comment to include the Pink Floyd 2016 reissues that Chris Bellman did. Those are really good. Those are for what they are. Quote, 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 for what they are. This is what is the thing. Rachel, you listen to now is Cobuzz. Listen, I'm elderly. I'm lazy. I put my clicker and I point it at my DAC, and it gives me beautiful digital sound. I'm usually happy with that. But every now and then, if I really want to listen, I'll put on a UK first press and I'll have fun. So take a step back there. Now, this album is highly regarded. This one, oh gosh, you kids are laying the comments said, didn't Brothers Records EQ it for Carl and the Passions? That's the one with the door on the old Ford or a Chev, whatever the hell it is. And that's a nice cut. Everybody loves that one.
So do you remember the Beach Boy Man channel that came out around this controversy? He got a hold of the Beach Boys archivists, the real guys that have the information. And you know what they pulled up about that 1972 mix?
Yeah.
They pulled up that Brian and Carl were not even there in the studio the day it was mixed, that they were on a plane to Kentucky to do a concert. So I'm not saying that they didn't oversee things or instruct things, but there was a reason for that to come out for people to understand, because Michael Fremer, came in and said, artist intent, like this is Brian Wilson's mix. You know what I mean? Well, that's not fair to make assumptions like that. And people listen, so I would never do that. Say that.
Yeah. Okay. So very strong on that. Don't throw any eggs at Chris on this one. Okay. I know you're critical, vinyl community. Rach, I dare you to, I've got 2 copies. I've got a quad mix of Tchaikovsky, the 1812 Mormon Tabernacle Choir with real cannons, ladies and gentlemen. But I also got it in standard stereo, Columbia Records, going way back to like 1968, 69. A beautiful album. And that was my dad's favorite. He'd get into his cups, he'd have his whiskey, he'd be pouring the whiskey, and then he'd play. And then when it came time for the cannons, he'd crank it a bit, and it would annoy my mother to no end. She'd go, David, to my husband, to my dad, David, turn those damn deities. That is just family life. But anyway, so I don't need the digital for the 1812. I wouldn't do it. You can blow your speakers if you play that, because it's a big sound. Pop. We play it on LP, but it's different. The digital blow things up. Okay, here's the deal. The Rev is telling you that the Carl and the Passions album, they EQ'd that baby. So that they were playing around with the mixing with let's a little more treble. We're going to turn down the snare here. And, they played around with it. So,
yeah, that would make sense.
Still like it, Rev, right? It's highly regarded, that particular edition. Holy smokes.
Well, the thing what Chris Bellman did is he bypassed the council. He just, because there was nothing he could do, it was already EQ'd. That tape was, meant for a 1970s audience. It wasn't meant for the audiophile community of today. So that was my main critique. I would, something happened. This is the big problem. I keep hearing that something happened to the original Pet Sounds master tapes.
Yeah.
Because Kevin Gray got those tapes. It says on their website, mastered from the original master tapes. Well, why didn't we get that again for this one step? And I keep hearing different stories, but I don't know. Something happened to those tapes, and it's kind of strange. How do you lose the Pet Sounds master tape? So there's something fishy going on, and I'll call it out. I wish someone would come over that knows the true story, but I have not heard a definitive answer on that. So,
James, you're absolutely right. You got to be careful about digital sound that way, because it'll come through and boom. That's just the way it goes. Okay, I like what Wyatt's saying. You want fidelity, you want to keep it true to the source. But this is the whole thing that Michael 45, we're honoring Michael today as much as we're honoring Mazzy. And Michael, he was horrified when he had to. I told him he disagreed, but I said, Michael, you're having an existential crisis. You put all your chips into these great mobile fidelity pressings, but they're all digital signals. They aren't the analog. Then, as an after, and Piebethal was way ahead of him on this. He said, you got to listen to the original analog recordings. They're superior. Trust me, you believe it. Michael didn't believe him. Michael with his Einstein, he's got the great stereo, but Michael learned. To his credit, Michael came around. But there was a real world-shaking kind of change in his head. Because he goes, oh my God, what are we going to do here? Mike Esposito, he travels over to MoFi, to their credit, had the interview. They were able to do it. Okay, there's a lot going on here. Have you ever seen a master tape locker? They're huge, pretty easy to lose track of things. If you ever get into the vaults where they store these things. Yeah, I guess it varies, right? The Project Gemini, Mark Anthony Kay, good friend of the channel. We love him. He's a guy you need to interview on your channel. Why? Mark Anthony Kay is a multi-instrumentalist, a pile driver. He was a lead guitar guy. He's just a great musician, a great friend of the channel. We love Mark. Also, Here we go. Wilson Audio wins a War and Peace record, shattered a ceramic driver at Expona years ago. Wilson Audio wins a War and Peace. My God. Remind me not to get that one, because I don't want to hurt my Harbess. Okay. Okay, another question for this. We have younger people watching our program. This is from one of our teens. We got teens watching. This young teenager asks, absolutely, Wyatt, you're going to get it. When you get big like this, you're going to get used to your teen following. Can't get rid of them, but they're great. They're great kids. We love the next generation. He's got a question. Favorite Beatle, John, Paul, George, or Ringo? Great question.
That's hard to say, honestly, but I'd probably say John. Maybe.
Don't say it with a question mark. Go, oh, John. Do you know why you want to say it that way? Why? Because John Lennon's the best Beatle, hands down. There's no comparison.
He is. Right?
John is the best Beatle. Okay, now listen, the EQs on Carl of the Passions mono is great, but there are many good versions of Pet Sounds. I got a couple. I got one in mono. I got it in stereo, just because that's one of those albums you want to have both. Just have them both. Get stereo, get the mono.
Speaking of artist intent, the stereo, if anyone knows, that was Brian Wilson's own project in the 90s, because he couldn't hear, right? That's why he did.
Dad,
so he got with another engineer, and they worked together, and that's was his artist intent for stereo working with someone else.
Yeah.
Now, take what you want with that, but that's real artist intent.
Okay, we got more problems in the peanut gallery. We call them peanut gallery because they throw peanuts at us. Look out. Question for Wyatt. Fluffy, beloved Fluffy, the young teen that just asked you about the Beatle question, or this is another great fellow that we know and love, Big E Ian. Big Ian, Big E. Do you have a preference for Fluffy, the young teen, or the older, more experienced expatriate Englishman now living in the great continental United States of America?
Who do I prefer?
Fluffy or Big E?
Can I say both? I don't know them, so I'm still getting to know everyone, guys. Just so you know.
Well, just to help you out, Fluffy's here. Big E's not here. Probably won't find out about it. I would go with Fluffy just because he's here.
We'll say Fluffy then.
Fluffy, you've got a new fan, a new friend, Wyatt. Controversial in Hawaii. All in on Fluffy, all the chips. If we were in Vegas, all the link and help. Okay, what the hell's going on? We're going to help Wyatt. Somebody else come up here and help us out. Take the pressure off of Wyatt, for the love of God. This is a big show.
Right,
what are you doing, 4D? You okay? I just wanted everybody to be happy.
I'm fine.
All right, man.
I'm willing to answer questions, get to know everyone.
So you started the channel about 5 months ago. Now, how many videos are you spewing out a week?
Spewing out about five videos a week, 4 or 5. You know.
So that's a heavy rotation. That's a lot of content. And generally, how long do your videos last? Do you like to do 10 minutes, a full hour, a half hour? Where do you find most of them sit for you?
Well, most of them are around 5 to 10 minutes.
I like that. Actually, you know why? I like that kind of, because we live in an age of everything's instant, everything's fast. Give me a quick. In fact, I hate to digress, but I was playing in a chess thing today, and chess has changed a lot. Like the classic format of bygone eras where it's like a 2-hour game and the players sit there, for minutes upon minutes upon minutes, making a move. That's all the thing, really. It's becoming more and more increasingly a thing of the past. Now it's blitz, 5-minute game, 10-minute game. That's about all. And our attention spans as a culture have shortened as well. And I wonder, Wyatt, if there's going to be some sort of transference of that kind of instant gratification kick and moving into the world of music. Kind of like, okay, give me a YouTube short of the song. I don't need to hear that whole song. I got enough that way. But I still find music can grab hold of you. My favorite song right now is, where's he? You can tell. Yeah, Ella Langley. You can tell he's from Texas. He's choosing Texas. What a song. I love his country thing. Maybe it's my age. I'm very elderly, Wyatt. And so that's what happens. Okay, big question for DJ. Hey, what's your audio gear setup, man? What do you got under the hood?
Okay. So I haven't done a video on my gear yet.
Ooh.
Many of you may have noticed that, because when I started my channel, I got hit with so many trolls, so many people that are like wanting to know my gear so they can discredit what I'm saying.
Really?
You know what I mean? Say I don't have it. Oh, yes. So I decided, because I'm sort of focusing on education and I don't want to mislead people, that I decided, why should I I don't need to show my gear. Look at the things I'm talking about, And so that's kind of where I'm at. I may show it at some point, but I'm not going to get on and show my gear like, hey, look at this, look at that, and invite a whole group of people. I don't want that kind of toxicity on my channel. You know what I mean? It goes both ways, So that's where I'm at on that. So thank you for the question.
And it's a great question and a great answer, because there's snobbery involved in the world of gear and audio. Oh, you'll never know. What do you got for your stylist? What kind of cart you got, man? And it becomes a pissing contest. Now, what? I don't recommend it for everybody, but if the pressure ever gets too strong on you, I recommend a full sex change, because it's hard to have a pissing contest when you're sitting down. All right, you ladies know what I mean. All right, now listen. We got a little digression. Rachel, you certainly know that classical chess become obsolete at the highest levels because the top players can almost always play for a draw. Yeah, white has like a 0.4. The what is Stockfish gives white a kind of a 0.4 advantage as a first move. So if you're black, generally they play for a lot of draws at black because they know white has that tempo advantage because they have first move, so they can kind of dictate the pace a little bit. By the way, I drew Sammy Shoker today by playing black. He was white. He had that advantage. I was black. I managed to draw against him. It was a big red letter day in the world of chess for this kid. Okay. You got an LP60. Chris says okay, we got a new guest, a new friend. This is all the way from Manchester, England. He's one of my favorites. I know you're going to love him, Wyatt. This
Welcome.
is 4D. It's called 4D.
Hello. 4D.
Hi,
Hello.
4D.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome. Good morning. It's like 3 a.m. where you are.
You're right. It's 2:45, and it's 2:45, and there's no one here except you and me.
Bloody hell. Donnelly, get up
2:45.
here. Holy
I like what Wyatt was saying because he understands that money isn't everything. So he wants value for his money. So I like that about him.
Thank you.
Sue, you're right about that. Blitz chess, like 5-minute, 3-minute games, and rapid, which is like your 10-minute games, are a lot more popular. Hold on, Loyola. What the hell? I will not stoop to any criticism of any of the superstars, and that's what Wyatt and 4D are. They are entertainers. They are superstars.
Well, since you've brought it up, Rachel, Breakfast King of Loyola, who's quite welcome to come up if you throw him a link.
Yeah,
he's an asshole.
Okay, get up here, you asshole. Now, Wyatt, every now and then on the show.
Just a second, getting my earbud fixed.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
I lost you for a second.
Take your time. A lot of people have.
Just as well.
Holy smokes. You know what? Actually, I would argue if Pia Cramling did an exhibition, she's lower rated by hundreds of points over the guy that I drew today. I would argue that I'd probably have a fairly decent chance at defeating Pia Cramling. She's a woman's 5 master. I think I could take her. Okay.
I'm back. Sorry, I had an earbud issue. I am on a Bluetooth earbud. I'm back.
Yeah. Congratulations on that chess match, Rachel. That was cool.
Oh, thank you.
Did you hear what he said, though? He said that he was lucky to get a draw. You should have refused the draw. Make him play on.
No, you know what? It's kind of, it's funny, 4D, because he was moving around the table, and the rules are, of course, he's beating everybody, right? So more and more people are knocked out. So it's becoming quicker and quicker between times. So I've got literally about 10 seconds to look at the move.
Wow.
So I'm actually playing kind of speed chess against a grandmaster, and I'm kind of going, holy shit, he's there right in front of me. So I go, oh crap, here we go. But I'm a good enough player. I can see patterns. A fairly strong club player, I would argue. And so I was able to outplay him in parts. So I was very pleased with my performance. It was a really incredible performance, if I do say so myself.
But did it not occur to you to refuse the draw and play on?
No, because the time was becoming so quick, and I knew he would be better at speed than I would be. And so I'm going to eventually, and I was going to make and I knew I was going to make an error. No, there is no courtesy or etiquette. If a grandmaster says, would you like a draw? You can, and with full etiquette, say, no, I think I got to win here. I'm going to play on. Hikaru Nakamura offered Len Molden a draw, and Len took it, and everybody said, you shouldn't have taken it, Len. You had Nakamura beat, which is incredible. An old childhood friend of mine, and he was a young guy, 2009. Nakamura was up in our part of the world, and he played Nakamura in a simul like I did. And he had a 1 game, and he took the draw there. So just because the moves are happening pretty quick at this point, 4D, I knew that it's very risky. One false move in an end game like we had, and it could be all over. A draw could turn quickly into a loss. As a matter of fact, the move that guaranteed and cinched the draw for me was a knight sacrifice. So the game ended with him a night up on me, but he had to take the draw because I forced it. He had no choice.
It's nice that you had it on camera, though, to capture it. That's nice.
Yeah, Sue's got a lot of little clips of the thing. So it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're here for music. We're here for Mazzy and stuff. So 40, let's talk about Mazzy. You're a big fan of Norman Maslow. When did you first discover this guy? Was this like years ago? And did you think he had enough in the tank to take out Michael 45? Or do you think this is pure fluke and Michael's going to be back bigger, stronger, and with Bavarian vigor to take down Norman Maslow? What's your call, 40?
Maz and I first encountered each other on a channel called Brian Needle Meets Vinyl. And this would be about 8 years ago, maybe 9 years ago.
Wow, that is going back.
And he's still going, Brian. He's a big Beatles fan. And I don't know whether he would call himself an audiophile, but I think he's an audiophile as well.
Yes.
And he's my go-to guy. Every time there's a Beatles release, he's my go-to guy to find out whether it's worth it or not.
Okay.
So I've respected Brian at Needle Meets Vinyl for about 9 years.
He's a good guy. Yeah, Brian's a nice guy.
Yeah. And in the comments thread, I had an argument with this guy, a political argument. It didn't last very long because Maz doesn't get into political arguments very, very much in the comments thread. But then I wanted to check him out. So I went over to his channel and I liked him. I liked the fact that he came from San Francisco and he was able to weave every record review into some sort of anecdote from his past.
And you know what? It's all sincere and it's all real. It's not just bullshit. He actually lived it. The guy is actually all the things he said he did, he did. He's actually the real deal. We love him. That's a good point.
And he comes from a time and place that's historic. Culturally, it's very significant. San Francisco in the 1960s. So I found him interesting enough to overcome the political argument and pay attention to him. So that's my history with Maz. And we've had a few arguments since then.
Well, yeah, but he's firebrand. He's sincere. He's passionate. He's got all that. Wyatt, do you have a favorite? Do you have? Could you name like 3 recommended channels in the vinyl community that, other than your own fine channel? And Sue, we got a producer here. Sue, we get Wyatt's channel. Put that down. But Wyatt, give me 3 channels that you go, hey man, if you're looking for information or entertainment, whatever, they can be for any angle, and I don't care who they are. We got our critics. Everybody's got a critic. If you don't have a critic, Wyatt, then you're doing something wrong. You're selling out.
Right.
So you got the integrity to call it the way you do. Some people are getting their nose bent out of shape. That's their problem. That's not your problem. Wyatt,
okay,
give me 3 channels before you, 4D, and then we'll go to you. We're doing Wyatt. Wyatt.
Just a reminder, I've only been on YouTube for about 5 months.
5 months.
So I am sort of slowly just starting to get to see and learn who the community is here. Before I used to watch Noble Records videos, Dylan. And I used to really enjoy some of his videos. And then I started watching Mazzy, which I really loved how original and honest he was about his own experience. Because I think what a lot of people do is they don't necessarily share their own experience authentically. You know what I mean? So someone that I feel like is being honest. There's another guy in the UK named Dave Denyer that does these review videos. So I started watching his review videos and I kind of vibed with it. I felt like he was being honest about what his perceptions were. And that's the thing, like we're all going to have different opinions. But you can tell when someone feels like they're being honest about what they think, and then it's an interesting perspective, right? They're not just trying to give you the hype around it.
So that resonates with you, Wyatt. You like that authenticity.
I like authentic people.
You like fidelity in your music, and you like fidelity in your people, which is an admirable quality.
I work as a caretaker. I've been taking care of an autistic man for about 15 years.
What's that like? I've always been fascinated by this. So do they put a liquid in the people when they bury them, or what goes on with that when you're doing your what is the term? Your caretaker? Is that like, it's not like a grave digger. You don't actually dig the grave yourself, but when you're caretaking these dead bodies, like that must be.
You misunderstand. You misunderstand me.
Something to it, Wyatt.
No, you misunderstand me. I take care of a autistic man. I'm not a caretaker as helping someone die. Not that kind of. I'm not a hospice worker.
Oh. Well, what about the guy who puts the fluid in the bodies when they're all dead?
I'm not.
Isn't
I'm not
that-
sure.
isn't
I
that
used to
what
work
that
in the
is?
school system with disabled kids
Well,
that
it's
have
kind of similar.
different disabilities.
Okay.
So that's what I do. You know, I pick up this guy every day. We go out and try to make the best of our day, and then we go back. He takes a little nap, and I make a video. You know, it's a full-time job. You know.
Okay, my
Sorry, yeah,
producer.
that's what I do.
Wyatt, my apologies.
You should have stayed. You should have stayed with audiophile stuff.
Holy smoke, my apologies. I've just been informed by my producer that the term I was thinking of was undertaker. Undertaker. They are apparently the person that looks after the dead bodies. A caretaker is something entirely different. Apparently, entirely different. I'm so sorry, Wyatt. We got to
Totally okay. I was like, wait a second now.
Yeah, Eric's here to help. Rachel, you were thinking about an undertaker, not caretaker. Ladies and gentlemen, every now and then I'll do one of these. It's called Comedic Takes for Fun and Whimsy. All right. Play along at home with the Play at Home, Rachel's Ghost at
And
home.
you'll forget the question that you started out with as
Always,
well.
folks. It's always like that. Okay, 4D, 3 channels. We gave Wyatt the opportunity. It's your opportunity to take it away as well.
Okay, well, one would be either Maz or Michael 45. You could pick either one. Yeah.
Can you do them both?
Well, I can come back to Michael 45 in a minute if you want about the MoFi scandal, something quite interesting. And the other two could be the two Brians. So you've got Brian Needle Meets Vinyl, and you've got Tokyo Record Style. So they both do. They both have interesting channels.
They do. I'm following Tokyo Record Style now. I've kind of been communicating with them a little bit. I may ask him to do an interview at some point, see if he's interested.
Yeah,
I think all the. Yeah,
I think you two would get along well.
Well, we don't live that far away from each other.
Yeah.
Tokyo Brian, he's a good guy. We love Brian here on this channel. Now, 4D has got a little history with Brian. They've gone a little toe-to-toe, a little tete-a-tete. And it's interesting enough, Wyatt, not to cast dispersions on Brian, who we love dearly, but 4D sometimes finds, and I don't want to put words in 4D's mouth, he can qualify, but sometimes there's a little disingenuousness coming from Brian. 4D, respond to that.
Well, we've got to be a bit careful here, Rachel.
Yes. Hold on. Listen, we're cutting edge on this. We are cutting edge.
Well, okay. Well, let me personalize it. What I had was a personality clash. So what I don't want to do is prejudice Wyatt, who will have a different personality to me, in bad way. So I'm happy to own it as a personality clash 1-to-1. And I could easily see Wyatt getting along with Tokyo Brian really well.
I love Brian. Now, we all love Brian, but this is the thing. This is our concern. I fear Wyatt will eventually experience what's known as dark Brian. Tread lightning. Tread lightning.
Let me get back to Michael 45 for a minute.
Yeah, okay, please do, because this is all about the hour. We love Michael here. He's a big channel, but Mazzy has finally shut him down, surpassed him, and I don't think there's any coming back from this, but keep going.
You know the funny thing about MoFi Gate?
Yeah.
Is that 3 months before MoFi Gate, Michael 45 did a review of a record, which I cannot remember, but in that review, which was supposed to be MoFi all analog.
Yes.
He suspected there was a digital step, and he said so in the channel. But what he didn't do is extend that generalization to a broader suspicion about what was going on. And when I looked in the comment thread under Michael 45's video, nobody picked up on what Michael 45 had just said, because if it was true for that one disc, and MoFi was proclaiming it as all analog, if it was true for that, wouldn't you then start to wonder about the integrity of the company? But nobody did. It wasn't just M45. Nobody in the comments thread picked up on it either.
Well,
look what happened.
Yeah,
they completely monopolized on it, and now we're still paying over $100 for these one steps, as if they're the ones that we have to pay for a high-res file. But that's starting to change. We're getting high-res files elsewhere now.
I mean, just to be clear, Wyatt, I'm not an audiophile, and my system is very basic. So I'm very limited to what I can say. All I'm doing is making an observation of what happened when the Michael 45 did actually detect something suspicious. It's just that he wasn't cynical enough to generalize and realize how far it was going with MoFi.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was kind of funny that Michael Fremer recently this year went on Steve Westman and tried to take the credit again.
Oh,
it was
interesting.
It was really interesting. So you remember his story, right? He said that he was suspicious, and so he contacted them. And what they told him was that we're getting the tape copies, that this is, this is da-da-da. And so his reaction was, well, I just took their word for it. Well, it's like, I called it out. I did a video on this. I'm like, Michael Fremer knows very well the physics of a cutting chain. You cannot promise sonic uniformity over 40,000 copies. I mean, it just didn't make sense. But then he gets on Steve Westman and says, but I was the one that actually knew first. Everyone says it's Mike Esposito. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Egos, Wyatt. The egos always come into play at some point.
Holy
and then Mike Esposito starts up a podcast immediately once that happened.
Well, to Mike's credit, though, he was the one that he was talking about it. It was all happening all at once. Everything was going at once. So Espo's a good guy. Do you get along with Espo? Are you a critic, Espo critic, or how do you sit with the Esposito?
I like Mike Esposito. I think he's honest. Like I said, that's sort of my whole thing is I try to see if that person is authentic. I believe he is. I've seen his review videos, and you can tell a lot about someone's honesty when they talk about an album and how it sounds.
Yeah.
You just can.
We're big fans of Espo around here.
I mean, what Tim just said in the chat is true. Michael 45 was really upset when the MoFi scam came out. But so what Michael 45's mistake was he wasn't cynical enough. He found that one mistake, but he wouldn't extend it because he wasn't cynical enough to apply it to the whole company.
Well, look what I did with the Super Sense thing. I made a video calling out what I was concerned about, and it completely blew up. I wasn't afraid at all of what people thought.
Right.
Well, I learned my lesson from that.
There was two of them. There was Tony and Phil. Tony in the goal. Remember Tony Esposito in the goal, and then big brother Phil is out there. Big number 7, I think. Rachel, do you notice one of your breasts hangs lower than the other one since you lost all the weight? Really, is that happening? Guys, are my breasts out of whack? Let me.
Yeah. One is.
Well, hold on. What's going on with my breasts?
You're right.
Mike. Okay, hold on. 40. Are my breasts doing it? Are they out of whack?
Your breasts look all right to me, love.
They're okay.
Yeah.
Wyatt, you okay with these babies? Because I don't want them going out of whack.
Hey. I'll be all right. I can handle.
Holy smoke!
I can handle it. Yeah.
Yeah, poor Sammy Shoker playing me. He may have been kind of thrown away.
Well, Rachel, will there be any more consequences to that match, do you think?
No, none other than just kind of, I can go to my grave knowing that I drew a grandmaster, even if it's in a simul. It's a great thing.
But doesn't it affect your ranking as well?
No, it's an unrated event, so it's not going to affect otherwise my rating would have gone shot up by like 200 points.
Get a correspondence going with him, Rachel. You may get a rematch.
He's a good lad. No, this is the whole thing. They're starting to. We got a couple of young people here that are working to be arbiters. They're called arbiters. And they can put on tournaments that are recognized by FIDE, which is Fédération Internationale d'Échecs, which is chess like FIFA football, right? It's like the organization for chess. And then you do a rated tournament, and then you get your rating going again. I do have a rating, but I'm woefully under. My rating's very low. Like I'm 1570 or something like that. And I've beaten over the board, A-class players. Go ahead there, Wyatt.
I was going to say I'm kind of excited because I just ordered my first record from Analog October.
Okay.
I haven't heard any of his his albums that he's been reissuing. So it's going to be sent all the way to Maui. So I'm kind of excited to check it out.
So Wyatt, have you got a high-end hi-fi system then to play all this stuff?
Okay, we covered this. Where it's a secret. It's a carefully guarded.
Oh, I see.
Company
Sorry.
secret. He ain't telling. He ain't talking.
I have a a pretty good kind of middle grade system, I would say.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I definitely get what my whole thing is, getting the ghost in the room. I have talked about that. That's what I look for, is where I can close my eyes and feel immersed in the recording.
Right.
I mean, and I get that also in my car. I just started downloading these high res rips from Patrick, Needle Drop King, and I love it. I just was listening to Robert Ludwig, Led Zeppelin in my car, and I was cranking it up. I'm like, this is really cool. Can you ever hear these analog recordings in your car? No. And it sounds so much better.
Right.
Like cranking the Ludwig in there, I was just like, oh man, you could totally hear it expanding, So I love that, the expansion.
And I love this comment. System shaming is obnoxious. I agree 100%. It's all about enjoying the music. And if you, whatever you've got, the idea is just get the music. If the music can touch you in some way, that's positive, makes you feel good, that comforts you in some manner, excites you, whatever you're after. If the music is able to do that, then you got a winning system.
Well, now that you mentioned that, you talk amongst yourselves, and I'll find something.
Okay, we got 40s off on the hunt, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from. Yeah, go ahead there, Wyatt.
One thing I was always saying in my videos is you don't need to spend thousands of dollars to get a good sound, and this is one of the biggest, a big misconception. And the more money people spend, they feel like they're going higher up the mountain, and then they're looking down and thinking, "Oh, it's no sound. Good sound is not only about your equipment. It's on the record. You know what I mean? So anyone can learn about the signal chain and how to, get a preamp. There's all these different types of preamps, and there's a lot of middle entry grade ones that work fine.
I think, when it comes to all that, like I've listened to different systems throughout time. I've got the system I'm happy with. I'm like, okay, we're here.
Right.
And so these harvests back here, I just absolutely got a Rega, which of course, Bebethel is not a Rega fan at all. I got a P6, not even the highest end, but it generally considered the sweet spot for the Rega line. And I've just got an Exact 2 cartridge, so it's not a microlinear or anything like that. Hunter S. Thompson, what in the world? What's going on with Hunter S. Thompson?
Well, this relates to what Rachel just said.
All right, let's go.
I was reading Hunter Thompson, rereading this in the back garden today.
Yes.
And I came across this short, Rachel, just a short paragraph.
All right, let's go for it.
Maz should be here for this because
I want to put you in the driver's seat. And then we're going to go this format so you can be so much larger as you read us all a little story. Ladies and gentlemen, select readings from the writings of Hunter S. Thompson, Esquire. Here we go.
I'm ready.
Okay. Maz should be here for this because this passage is set in San Francisco, where Hunter Thompson lived for quite a while. But he wrote this in 1999. So this is 28 years after Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Mm-hmm. And this is long after the period where people said, "Oh, he's lost it. He's lost the talent." So he's just reminiscing, Hunter Thompson, and this is what he says in a short paragraph.
Okay.
Music has always been a matter of energy to me, a question of fuel. Sentimental people call it inspiration, but what they really mean is fuel. I still believe that a car with the gas needle on empty can run about 50 more miles if you have the right music very loud on the radio. Every time I hear White Rabbit, I am back on the greasy midnight streets of San Francisco, looking for music, riding a fast red motorcycle downhill into the Presidio, leaning desperately into the curves through the eucalyptus trees, trying to get to the Matrix in time to hear Grace Slick play the flute. There was no piped-in music on those nights, no headphones or Walkmans, or even a plastic windscreen to keep off the rain. But I could hear the music anyway, even when it was 5 miles away. Once you heard the music done right, You could pack it into your brain and take it anywhere forever.
All right, powerful words from Andrew S. Thompson. Wyatt, your response to the great Gonzo?
I would say that was legendary.
Yeah,
one of my favorites. I love the Rum Diaries also.
Yeah, Rum Diaries. Yeah,
and there's never been a writer like Hunter S. Thompson, and there'll never be another one like it's a rarity, and we're lucky we have it.
Gonzo journalism. Well, there's another guy that's certainly true to himself. He's a bit of a madman, but he was true to himself. So 4D, very interesting. And of course, when I listen to that passage, it's somewhat reflective of Thompson's own personality, because the guy was built for fuel himself. That's Gonzo journalism. That's man, everything's energy for the guy. And my own take is maybe, for myself, dare I say, more nuanced, because sometimes music can be for different things. Sometimes you have one speaker is blowing out, but you're cranking it, and the only sound you're getting is fuzzed out anyway. But it's, you're listening to David Bowie, cranked out Diamond Dogs, and it's just
Speaking of David Bowie, speaking of David Bowie, seeing that Warner is getting all the tapes out of the vault, and Rhino, I feel like now's a great time to get those original master tapes out and do another AAA run.
I think that would be a wonderful idea, because I've got some OG Bowies, I've got some reissues, and I don't think he's been mastered or engineered to his fullest potential. I think there's a lot of room for improvement in the Bowie catalog, even though you can still listen to classic Bowie, that 70s, early 70s period, and it'll blow your mind. Absolutely amazing, hunky dory. Okay.
This is the special edition that came out quite a while ago, and I don't know, in terms of audiophile reputation, I don't know what these two CD box sets are like in terms of audiophile reputation, but in terms of the back catalogue, in terms of demo tapes, in terms of alternative takes, and in terms of the presentation and in the books and so forth.
Oh, that's nice.
These are brilliant, and you can hear, is it Mick Ronson? Who's the guitarist that Bowie had?
Mick Ronson says the 70s during the Ziggy period and all that.
Yes,
Mick Ronson.
Right. So when he would pick the strings, he would sort of drag the pick across the string, and you can hear that sort of drag when he plays a chord, and you can hear it even on my basic system. You can hear it on the speakers here. So you get stuff like, and this is a big deal to me in terms of
that's a nice box. I like that.
Yeah, but what you get is you can start to infer his editorial mind, because you get the crossings out in the hand, a bit like with Dungeon Lane. You can start to infer where his head was going at in terms of the lyrics. So there's a lot of stuff like that in both these box sets, where you get the here's another one. This is from Honky Dory.
Yeah,
where you get. You get, so it's a reproduction of where he wrote the lyrics in the first place. That was the one he had, and you also get, like, sometimes there are set lists that he's working out for famous gigs. But the more interesting,
I love all that stuff.
Yeah, but the more interesting thing is if you can find him, you can find his editorial mind working out how to phrase a lyric. So you can sort of get behind the scenes.
Other ideas that he's playing with, and visuals and the like.
Yeah, it's like access all areas backstage.
Now, 4D, when did you pick that up? Is that a new purchase or something you had for a while?
Oh, I've had those about at least 6 months now, and they've been out for a lot longer than that. They've been out for a few years.
Yeah, Bowie's catalog. I mean, they are putting a lot of stuff out. Compact disc releases. There are a lot of Bowie coming out on compact discs that you can get. So Wyatt, do you have a disc player? Do you play CDs at all, or is it vinyl for you?
Right now, it's only vinyl. I kind of broke off from CDs a while ago. I kept just a few of them, but once I kind of got my system a little better, I was like, I don't even want to listen to CDs really anymore. And that was just me personally, because I try to spend my money in a way now that I'm getting something that hopefully I don't have to buy again. You know, sometimes you got to get it again, right?
Okay.
So I got rid of a lot of stuff.
Okay, we got a lot of controversy, Wyatt. The vinyl community is more emotionally needy than possibly any group you're ever going to encounter. You've been around 5 months. You have not seen the deprivation that some of these young souls have experienced. 40, can you speak soothingly to Paul, the Breakfast King?
I can speak to him, but not soothingly.
Okay, well, let's see how it goes. He's very concerned.
I'm the type that remembers, and I'm the type that holds a grudge. So I can remember some of the comments that he made in chat.
Yes.
And so for me, there's no going back from that. So he can save his breath. There's just no going back from that.
All right. So I'm so sorry, Paul, but you have crossed the Rubicon of hurt feelings.
Absolutely.
And when it gets to that level, why, you'll know what this is like in a few months. People will hurt your feelings so deeply, you'll wonder, why do I even bother? Why do I even try to reach out to these miscreants?
I mean,
that's your love of music will keep propelling you forward.
That is a difference between you and I, Rachel, because you tend to blow up big. You can simultaneously, therefore, forget it. Like the next day, you don't hold
immediately. It's gone.
Yeah, well, I'm not like that. You see, I hold a grudge for as long as it takes to get even.
Wow, that is hardcore. See, I don't have kill power. This is my problem in chess too. I'm
not sure. I'm not sure I have kill power either. Really, I just need to get even.
Yeah, but dude, that is so intense. Like I'm like, oh my god!
I am intense.
Yeah.
So one of my controversial. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What? One of your controversial what?
One of my big controversial videos was the dark side of vinyl gatekeeping, the dark truth of vinyl gatekeeping.
Okay,
and I went through the 3 different types of personalities out there, and I think it stirred a little bit because this is based on what I was experiencing. And one group is that they're in an elite club. They've spent $100,000 on their system. No one's allowed to have an opinion, and they just fall everywhere. You know, and then you have the platform gatekeeper, a successful YouTuber that becomes intimidated by you the moment that your account starts doing better.
I am riser.
And I had to call something out because, you know, after my Super Sense thing, people were making fun of me. And I'm going to say it right now. I don't know if people noticed, but he took it down because I called him out in that video. AV room, Chris from the AV room made an image of me where I looked like South Park, like a freak, and put it on T-shirts and coffee mugs, and was trying to sell merchandise of me looking like sort of like a South Park freak. And I waited a couple weeks.
Yeah.
I waited a couple weeks, and then I dropped the video, and I didn't even have to mention his name. I just showed the screenshots of his, you know, and he took it down. Thank you, Chris, if you're watching this.
Chris, we love Chris, a good friend of the channel.
Nothing to get Chris. If he never apologized to me, so if he wants to apologize to me at some point, maybe I'll take that video down.
So Wyatt, are you the type to hold a grudge and need to get even, or are you the type to forgive and forget?
I'm usually forgive and forget. Like, I don't have a grudge towards Chris for doing that, and I actually appreciate him taking it down. But I don't have a problem calling something out, and I'm not intimidated.
Yeah, no, neither should you be. That's the way to do it. You got to just be yourself, answer truthfully, deal with it. And there's a learning curve because you go out. Here's the thing that surprises me. I was interviewed by the wonderful Stephen Schnee a few years ago, and he says, anything surprise you? What's the biggest thing you learned, or, you know, what surprised you? Any surprise at all about doing content? I go, yeah. I didn't realize how mentally ill the viewing audience was, like how dysfunctional these people are. I'm serious. I had no concept. And so it blew up and all this stuff. But eventually what happened, you learn to write it. Now nothing bothers me. They had me, Rachel, you pissed standing up. You're a tranny. I go, yeah, that's right. I'm a tranny. And, you know, so you get all sorts of stuff. And then eventually nothing phases you. They went after Sue. And then you go, they go after your wife. You go, what the hell are you going after? You fuckers. And then you realize, oh, even that Sue's just fine. She laughs at it. Don't get that. So you become untouchable in that regard. You just don't worry about parody videos or doing stuff. I just go, hey, great.
Right.
It's just more content.
It's a compliment. If you want to parody me, of whatever.
You're making
whatever,
more content.
But you know, the image he made was a little disturbing, and I think it had a lot of bad taste.
You don't know bad taste until they tie you to a stake and have Africans running around throwing spears.
It was 7, yeah.
Our good friend Little Stefan had that. He's a kid in South Africa. They had a whole bunch of African natives throwing spears, and he's all tied up in a.
So you know my latest thing I called out was the super vinyl myth.
Super vinyl myth. Go ahead.
You want me to tell you what the myth is? So we're getting this Neotech super vinyl and the mobile fidelity stuff.
Yeah.
The myth is that when you pay for $100 one step, that you're getting better vinyl. If you look, you can buy the standard Santana Abraxas for $60. They use the exact same vinyl compound. And when I did my research, it only costs them $3 more to use that vinyl compound. An ordinary record is about $3 for, you know, just standard material. The upgrade per record is very minuscule. So the myth was that is what you're paying for.
Well, yeah, that's hype. That's marketing. So we kind of learn to expect, or do you? Here's the deal. Are we to believe the stuff? We've had this in the 60s, super high fidelity. You can see the little label at the top of the record. 360 surround on your old Columbias. Woo, I got a 360 one. This must be pretty hot. Let's put it on the old turntable. As a matter of fact, those are good recorders. If you got one of them, they're pretty good.
I would guess. I don't have a channel, Wyatt, but so I'm guessing here. But I'm guessing amongst audiophiles, the kind of trouble you might run into is if somebody's got a channel that they consider as a big channel, anybody, and they're an audiophile, and they do a review of something that's just come out, and then you come along on your channel and you have completely the opposite opinion. What they might do subjectively is feel like you're indicting their opinion, and what they've got behind their personality is their brand. Their channel is being called into question. So immediately it becomes like a conflict then between objectivity goes out the window, and it becomes a conflict between one channel, you, and the channel who had the opposite opinion. And then
right, and you're exactly right about that. And what's interesting is when I do these videos, it's never my intention to challenge anyone.
Right.
I'm just calling out what I see. Right. And yes, the hype around super vinyl and these clarity vinyl compounds is that it's the top of the mountain. But guess what? We have OGs that sound better. So it's not only the vinyl. It's part of it. But the idea that it's so much more expensive because of this premium super vinyl, that's a myth, guys. I don't care who's promoting it and saying that, you're wrong. You know, it's a good compound. I think super vinyl is a great compound. And it actually is very silent. But let's be honest. That doesn't make it worth $100.
I like our good friend Scott. Scott works in Hollywood. He's got a lot of credit to his, studios of films you'd be familiar with, different things he's done. Amazing guy. I love Scott. I'm a big fan. But he's an audiophile. You definitely get that when you listen to him. So he goes, different vinyl formulas do have different noise levels, but without proper testing, you won't know which formulas have a lower noise floor. The old JVC was objectively tested and shown to be quieter. So there you go. Somebody doing some testing on it to see what's what. But I mean, we had the the oil crisis in the 70s. Remember that everything got into flexi disc kind of thing. It was all cheap.
Oh, yeah.
RCA, the Elvis records, you wingle them around.
Some of those sound great though. That's the thing is some of even the thin little flexi disc. The other myth is 180 grams sounds better.
Or
180 gram doesn't sound better.
200 gram.
Or 200 gram.
Is there an optimum gram then? If it's not 180, is there?
Well, this is my whole thing. So 180 gram is great for making it more stable and secure, but you have to put sensors in the presses because it has to cool down a little bit before you open it. So a lot of people get warped, like the mass production 180 grams. The biggest problem is a lot of them are warped slightly. It's because they need to stabilize a little bit because there's so much more vinyl to cool down. So I prefer 180 gram as far as more for archiving and because it's much more stable. But
Right.
your turntable is supposed to be a stable foundation. So technically you don't need that. Like I said, some of the Dynaflexes are great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's a middle ground with looking at these things. They have a purpose.
You see what, and especially if you're doing a channel where you're not just addressing high-end audio files, but people like me. So people like me who don't know any of those technicalities, what we look for is a fast answer that we can hold on to, because you'll lose us in the details if you go too detailed. That's why I was asking about the 180 grams.
Well, I'll be honest, you know, I work hard to buy my records. You know, I'm not a wealthy person. So
Right.
I'm coming into this from a different place. I've worked towards my equipment. I did a video on an entry-level audiophile setup that was about $1,200 to complete with everything. And, you know, that was a little controversial because people are like, no, you cannot. But no, it's true. You don't need thousands and thousands of dollars. I want people to know, like I told people, work towards it. Do a payment plan. You can do payment plans on Amazon now. Work towards that new amp. You know what I mean? And then climb the mountain slowly with what you can afford, and it's worth it. You can get a better setup, and when you get there, you'll be so happy. You know.
Well, yeah, I could tell that about you before I came up, that money matters, that money counts to you. I could tell that.
I think one of the reasons why I talk that way, I want more people to come into this community. And money is a problem because there's so many people that are like, I'm never going to be an audiophile.
Right.
Well, I'm trying to come in and say, no, you can be an audiophile. You know what I mean? Like anyone can do this. And that's what I personally believe because I've had that experience. So.
Okay, here's a great question for Wyatt, and we'll go to 40 on this too. But it won't be as interesting for 40, but I think Wyatt, you'll find it more interesting. 40, you can correct me if I'm wrong, no problems. Hot stampers. Do you believe in the reality of the mythic hot stamper?
You know, no. I'll be on. I think that certain ones maybe. I'm not against the idea of, you know, blind testing and trying to find a better sounding record, but they don't let you know. You know what I mean? What this? So I don't like that. I think there's a level of gatekeeping in it, and I'm not for that. I believe transparency on both sides of the spectrum will only help this hobby. Not everyone agrees with me on that, but I mean about everything. Like when I said $3 more for that super vinyl compound, that's just being transparent.
Yeah, I think there's a natural tendency to, because it's a marketable product, records, we pay for them. So therefore, it's inevitable that some degree, some element of snake oil is going to come in there to say, hey, choose my product over this product, or get this super deluxe version of the same thing because it's got so much more to it. And here's the magic ingredients we've added: purple hearts, pink little pink hearts, green shamrocks, Lucky Charms. Go ahead. What do you think there, 40?
That's become a hot phrase, hasn't it? In the last year or so in the VC, gatekeepers and gatekeeping has become like the hot contentious phrase. I'm not quite sure what does it mean, gatekeeper?
A hot stamper or gatekeeper?
Gatekeepers, that's what I'm interested in.
Take it on. I got my idea.
Well, there's different types, but like I did in my video, there's 3 psychological traits that I covered. First was, like I said, the elite group. You don't have an opinion, you'll never be at the top of the mountain. Then there's the establishment, the platform gatekeeper, people that are intimidated by you, that don't, like you were just saying, that don't like that I talk about super vinyl compound that way. Why am I not just promoting it? So people don't like that. Then there's the grandmaster gatekeeper. I coined this. This is the person, and I actually put him on top of a pyramid. I made this funny AI image, and all these executives walking up the stairs of the pyramid with their suitcases. This is the legacy establishment. This is the guy that represents, promoting all of these luxury $50,000 speakers, $100,000 turntables, and they use that as, so that's kind of what I mean. It's how you use it.
So is gatekeeping a way of controlling prevailing opinion by who you let in and who you ostracize? Is that what it comes down to?
Yes, because they don't want the general public. Gatekeepers don't want the general public knowing everything. That's part of the first thing. They want them knowing up to a certain extent, and then they want to sit back and be the authority. That's why Michael Fremer didn't like my videos.
So is that
He really attacked me.
Is that your understanding as well, Rachel, of what gatekeeping means in the VC? I mean.
Well, to me, it's very simply, it's like, this is cool, this is uncool, this is good, this is bad. So we will ostracize you.
This is what you need.
Yeah, this is what you need to get in order to be legitimized as having something currency wise that we should all listen to, a little cachet. I use the word cachet. So certain things carry more weight. Oh, I see that you've got a mobile fidelity. Oh, I see you have a UK first pressing. Oh, right. I see you have a US first pressing. Oh, yeah, you got the the Chris Bellman hot mix. That's the one you want. So there's a little bit of that. And so because you got cachet, then you can hold that album up and people go, ooh, and to some extent, there's some reality behind it. So there are some genuine grails out there that, we're all allowed to fawn a little bit over. If Jason Rojas shows that turquoise Zeppelin one, it's legit. They're rare. They aren't out there. If you can get one, more power to you. Absolutely. He's also got a Beatles one on the gold Parlophone. Hey, man, more power to you. That's absolutely fantastic. I don't have one of those. I got a second press of Please Please Me from 1962, let alone 1960. I got a 62 cut of Please Please Me, the Beatles. It's just not the gold label. It's the yellow one.
One of the advantages of having only 1 foot in and 1 foot out of a community is you're kind of invulnerable to that kind of peer pressure because you're never all in. So if you don't wear a team jacket in the first place, you bypass all of that, I think.
You're right about that. The other thing is that it depends what you want, especially if you're a content creator.
Yeah.
Wyatt's new to the game, so he's in there building his channel, getting the following, getting things, because at the end of the day, you could make a lot of money from this kind of thing. Maybe a little bit of money. Let's not say a lot. We're the vinyl community.
Michael find out about Wyatt? I'm curious about that.
How did Fremer find out about? Okay, how did Fremer explain how he came across you? Fremer keeps his finger dipped in the community. Somebody probably saw Wyatt's video. Hey, Fremer, you check this out. And then Michael went,
the Super Sense video, when I called out Super Sense, somehow that got to Michael Fremer.
Yeah.
So it created a big wave because I was calling it out, saying there might be a digital step here. You're telling me that you're pulling these precious master tapes out for just more copies so you can wear out for these lacquers. Like if you look at the process, like on their website, it says they can make up to like 700 to 1,000 lacquers. Well, they're wearing out multiple tapes because the sonic uniformity changes. You lose the sparkle in the tape when you keep doing that. That's why they couldn't do the Michael Jackson Thriller as a real one step. And I think when the Michael Jackson came out, people that understood how the physics of a cutting chain work would be like, why would the Jackson family approve for this tape to be destroyed?
Yeah, I think
people that understood thought that.
Yeah, I mean, isn't the idea that I forget the mother, the father, all this stuff, but you're good for 10,000 copies, and then you got to do a new cut. Basically, that's what I heard.
No. So with the 3-step, it's different. You can make thousands. You can make 50. So a 3-step is very simple. You make the mother, and then the mother. You can make multiple mothers from the father.
Yes.
And then you can make so many stampers from that mother. So like at Acoustic Sounds, they're strict. So they cut at every like 500 to 1,000. So they have a way of, testing to see when it starts. So they cut back early. But that's just one stamper. You can make a lot of. So if you can get almost 1,000 out of one stamper, think how much. So that's how you're able to do it. And you only have to play the tape once to cut that first lacquer. With a one step, it's more complicated because you're just making a father basically, and then using that, right? So you're not even spending the money on the silver or the nickel. But what makes it more expensive is you got to keep going back and paying that engineer. And my whole thing is it's not necessary. I don't believe it gives you better sound. If a one step sounds better, that's because of the mastering, the tape source, and maybe the vinyl compound. That's what it is. I've never, if you look at the Santana Abraxas, it's going for over $1,000, the one step now. This is what I called out.
Yeah.
I went and bought the $60 version that they have, and it sounds amazing. Exact same vinyl compound. I don't believe the one step sounds better for 1,000. I just don't.
Yeah, I mean, that's all things. Cesar, hey, Rach and Scuzzy, am I gatekeeping the soda stereos, OGs?
Can you read Wyatt Scott's?
Scott? Yeah, yeah, I had that up. I had that. Hey, Wyatt, tapes don't degrade like that. We got different opinions. Scott Wheeler's an audiophile. The reason they don't use master tapes multiple times is they do worry about damaging them. You could cut the tape or, something can happen because they're handling it.
So the thing with the tapes is there's the acetate based tapes that were made in like the 50s and early 60s that were used for a lot of the jazz recordings. A lot of those are in pristine condition because of the way that and then you have in the 70s, you had polyester tapes. Those are the ones that got sticky shed syndrome. So you have two different types of tapes out there. Now the Blue Note Tone Poets that are coming out of the vault now that Kevin Gray are doing those tapes are in great condition. I've heard things about it. So yes, they're aging, but every tape is unique. Not every original master tape is falling apart. And that's one of the misconceptions. I called out Sony in my recent video because Sony has all those tapes under lock and key in the US. Now, Craig from Analog October told me that he's still able to get Sony UK original master tapes, but in the US, nothing. And I'm like, what's the point? You made your digital transfers. We want AAA analog now. Like there's a market for it. Look, they wouldn't be doing another Michael Jackson one step if there wasn't a market. Like the world is changing, in my opinion. So I would like to believe that more people are getting into the vinyl hobby right now.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things about the Beatle tapes, Abby wrote, is they found out that most of those were actually in really good shape, better than they thought they would be. Other than Please Please Me, Please Please Me was had degraded. There were some problems with it. I don't know exactly what the problem, but they did say that there was some damage to the tape. But the other ones were in remarkably good condition, given their vintage, right? So we're dealing.
Oh yeah.
Older tape sources there.
I mean, look at all the great reissues. There's a lot of good reissues coming out now that are getting original master tapes, and they sound great. So not every tape is falling apart. I think we need to have a grading system. I know this is subjective because if Kevin Gray graded a tape and Bernie Grundon graded one, it'd be a little different. But I believe we deserve to know if we're going to spend $100 on a one step from Definitive Sound Series, what state is that tape in?
See,
is it BG Plus or we should know.
Yeah, and where was it held, and who was archiving it? No, there's a number
of
variables go into it. Okay, Scott Wheeler. Hey, Wyatt, your beliefs have no effect on reality. Holy smokes, coming in with a hot take. The reality is the lacquer is 10 decibels quieter than a 3-step vinyl pressing. Holy crap, Scott, you are on fire. Wyatt, can you handle the heat for this young viewer? Scott Wheeler, holy smokes.
Well, if that was the case, then we would be buying up lacquers left and right, and there would be lacquer companies everywhere like Super Sense. I think some lacquers can sound better. You know what I mean? But remember, lacquers, there's a difference between the lacquer that SuperSense is selling and a real lacquer, because real lacquers have to be shipped off immediately. Kevin Gray doesn't cut on Fridays because what he just said in an interview I saw is what happens is that it wants to kind of go back to its original shape. So the faster you want it to get there and metal plated immediately. So that's not what you're buying from SuperSense, just so you know. And Michael Fremer actually clarified something in my video. The John Coltrane is not the original master tape as claimed. It's a UK copy tape, and they're selling that lacquer as an original master tape, and he even specified it.
Well, that's what I believe that's what upset Michael 45 the most out of MoFi Gate, is that MoFi lied to the customer base. I think that's what upset him the most.
Yeah. Well, that's my thing. You don't need to lie.
It got a little.
Transparency makes you more successful.
Weren't they a little cagey with the way the language, the way they used the language in the marketing of it? So, sourced from the tape as opposed to, from a tape, or, I forget how they phrased it. It's so long ago. I've got I think I've got 2 MoFis in my whole collection, like they aren't the thing I go for. And I got, here's another one for you. Do you have a large collection? How many albums in your collection do you have? Ballpark.
I used to have a much larger collection, but I actually, about last year, I got on Whatnot and I was selling off a lot of stuff. So I kind of purged, like I know people go through phases. There was a lot of things that I just needed to get rid of. So I fine-tuned it and I'm starting to now open it up again, and it's fun. So I don't know, maybe I have maybe 300 or 500 albums right now.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's a lot of albums, more than the average person has. When you go there, you get people with a small little collection. Our good friend Bill Codville, Bill's got a very curated, beautiful collection, though, because carefully curated. I want this, he specifically went hunting down, and he's got like 100 album collection, 200 albums, something like that. But it's beautifully curated, more power to him, because it's easy to go out and get a bunch of schlop. Here we're at the Salvation Army. What do they got? Oh, here we go. I got a bundle. I got 45 Mal Tormes. These Tormes are like tear your heart out.
I don't know if it's a tired subject yet, Wyatt, but do you have an opinion about this? Is it the Vinyl Summit Conference? Is it called?
Oh yeah, the big Vinyl Summit. They're going to have concerts and everything there. It's going to be like a festival.
Right, but is that, I know it's a loaded question, but is that an example of gatekeeping?
I don't think necessarily. It's going to be like a public event, and they're going to, one thing it's expensive. I know like each concert is like $100, and there's going to be like 3 different concerts, and you know what I mean? So what you may see there is a segregation in audience. People that have the money to travel there and buy these records and ship them back. And you'll see less of hardworking people that would love to go and experience meeting these great engineers and stuff. So I would love to bring more of those people into this hobby, because I think it'll make it grow. People realize that they can work towards getting a better turntable. They don't have to have all the money up front.
Right.
That's my message. It's like, you can get better sound, work towards it, work towards that new stylus that you want.
It is kind of funny. I had to laugh at Mazzy did a video. We're talking about Maz today, and he came out with his Anjouan de Patois, because in full fairness, our good friend Kimbo kind of said, you got to get Anjouan de Patois. And from him, it's a very sincere thing. Wyatt, did you get into that? Do you get into when the bandwagon, this is the hottest thing, you got to get wet leg, everybody's talking wet leg, you got to get wet leg, or you got to get Anjouan de Patois, and you're going, it's microtonal. Wow. I got to have my microtonal music.
I don't get wrapped up in hype on new things that easily now. Sometimes I get excited, like, when I hear about a new reissue. But I've learned my lesson, like everyone else. Like I'll be honest, with these new Who UHQRs, that Chad's putting out. I'm not exactly sure, because if you look, Mike Esposito is not talking about it at all. So when he decides to be silent about giving opinions on a new release, to me, that's a message. Chad came out saying this is the top of the mountain. These Chris Bellman cuts are the best. And maybe I know they sound great. I've heard a lot of people love them, but I'm always hesitant, about these new, taking it with a grain of salt, because as we know, a lot of times the OG can sound just as good,
Yeah.
So that's my
generally
opinion.
better, in my opinion, my experience, but your mileage may vary.
What that chat? I'm sorry, I forgot your name, but about 3 chats ago, somebody mentioned the Beatles and said that they didn't really understand the big audiophile emphasis on sound.
This is Darren. Darren's got this comment.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I've, as a non-audiophile in terms of my system setup, and I don't think my ears are very fine tuned. I think I understand and partly agree with what Darren is saying, except that, isn't it a delight sometimes if you hear maybe in a new pressing, you hear something in the background in a Beatles song, even if it's just in Hey Jude, and is it Paul McCartney or Lennon says, "Oh fucking hell," just in the background you just hear it. And it's right. So delightful. So it was always there. It's not like it was planted afterwards, but it's uncovered by a cleaner pressing or something like that. So that would be an emphasis on sound that an audiophile would be attuned to. Mm-hmm. So even though I'm not an audiophile, I can appreciate the delight of that.
Well, I'll give you an example. The Robert Ludwig Led Zeppelin is an audiophile record of its time because it was cut hot, fully open. In our modern time, we can play that back. Our turntables are much better. In the old days, as we know, that Robert Ludwig skipped a little and they did a whole thing. That's the example. So with the Beatles, you want the closest thing to the original master,
right?
That is not compressed, the full dynamic range.
Yes.
Like Kevin Gray uses these Macintosh amps that are 500 watts, the same amps that were used to power Woodstock. He uses to cut the record. That's what I'm talking about, is that you can hold all of that into a groove now and play it back.
Yes.
And so to me, that's what I think about as audiophile. Now, certain OGs are like it too. Go ahead. Sorry.
And buying into the illusion of being able to eavesdrop in the studio at that time. So it's like time traveling. And that's why I just shelled out the maximum amount of money for the Rubber Soul Super Deluxe is those outtakes where you get a little bit of studio banter in between takes and so forth. That too, although that example I guess would be considered trivial by audiophiles because it's not directly related to the musical sound. It's the banter in between takes. But that's an example of the kind of time travel that transports me and takes me right back there. And that's why I spend that kind of money on those Super Deluxes, for those outtakes.
Exactly, like the anthologies that came out years ago.
Yeah,
those were amazing to hear. It was like a gift. It's a real gift to our community. My only problem is you need to isolate them individually. So, like the Monomaster LP, you have to buy the whole box. What if someone just wanted one of those things?
Yeah. That's come up in the discussions around the VC with this Rubber Soul, is that you've got to buy the whole thing in order to get the one thing that you want.
It's not fair, and all the Beatles masters should be always available for like $30 or a regular price. I'm sorry, it's the Beatles. There should be no gatekeeping in an expensive box set. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Okay, okay, this is interesting. Every cutting head amp has to be that powerful. The power of the Mac amps is not the selling point. Selling point might be the added tube distortion to sweeten it on that amplifier in the studio that they're using.
Well, Kevin Gray does not use tubes to cut his reissues. He only uses his all-tube system for his jazz records, the jazz albums.
Yeah.
His system is a transformerless solid state system for the reissues, and that's why a lot of people are liking these new Rhino hi-fis is because it's more accurate to what's on the tape, a little bit more. So people don't realize that. People hear about his tube system, which is world renowned. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's not what he's cutting these reissues on. Now, the War Greatest Hits, as you know, was the only one he cut on his tube system. And then a year later, no one knew. He went on an interview and mentioned it, and they sold out immediately. And now we're getting the second wave of those back again, which is great. So if you want to hear a tube, Kevin Gray, get that.
Okay, Scott Wheeler goes, then he's using SS Mac amps, which are just amps at the end of the day. They're just amplifiers.
They are just amplifiers. Yeah.
Sorry, Wyatt. Just to take it back to Rob the Wax's comment, Jackie, a Mancunian girl, used to say every time she used to bump into me, she used to say to me, "Do you know you smell exactly like old books?" It's the first thing she ever said. Old books. It didn't matter what the company was that we were in. That's the first thing she would always say.
You're musty. You smell musty.
And 5 years would go by.
There's a word for it, Fordy. You're musty.
5 years would go by, and then I'd run into Jackie again, and she'd say, "You still smell like old books." So that's my answer to Rob the Wax.
Okay, we got a rejoinder from Darren Crawford. Hey, 4D, is it? One thing I'd say is many times you can hear things that you wouldn't normally hear, but audiophiles do not trump normal Beatle fans. Normal Beatle fans for the win, where Darren's come from.
Okay, Darren.
He's got his opinion, but it is interesting. I mean, this is the whole thing about the audiophile, the hobby, the interest. There's gear, the sound, the fidelity, bang for buck, and there is some degree of snake oil in the whole mix. Half-speed masters, some of those can sound good, some of those don't cut it. Too much bass.
So that's another quote unquote sort of scam. I know that Abbey Roads is still doing it. Nothing against how they sound; they can sound better. But you, like Kevin Gray, if no one's heard him talk about it, he says that you can hear the sibilance if it's analog, and you might as well be using digital because you got to go and fix these things in digital to make the half-speed thing work. And so it's another one of those things. It's kind of pointless. Like, why go through all of that just for half-speed? Is it really giving you better sound?
But because I just want one fixed point of advice that I can stick to, I get frustrated when opinions shift. So opinions used to be that if you had any dyed vinyl, any vinyl that wasn't black, any colored vinyl, that would prejudice the sound. But now people aren't saying that so much anymore.
No, because you can make a colored vinyl be just as good because it's the compound. If you're using the same premium black vinyl compound that doesn't have recycled scraps in it, that they're using fresh pellets, and the compound of the color, you can still achieve the exact same thing. And we're now getting there.
So that colored advice that we got in the first place was wrong to start with then.
Well,
no, not necessarily. There's a lot of colored stuff that doesn't sound good because of the compounds they're missing in.
Just give me one piece of advice that I can hold on to. All these variables just drive me nuts, man.
Yeah, Scott.
If it's using premium vinyl, then I would say it's probably okay.
Premium vinyl.
Okay. So Scott, do you believe that? Like Scott Wheeler, he goes, when Doug Sachs is cutting half speed from analog, his claim was that half speed, the tape heads got more information on the tape because they're playing it slower, so the signal's drawn out, more fidelity because you're getting more time to play with the signal. More information is being transferred, and that transfer to the grooves can be wider because you're getting more information in them. Basically.
Yeah, so that's the whole idea behind it. But look, again, did Doug Sachs do that for the rest of his life? No. You know what I mean? He did it in isolated moments. He might have done it with certain recordings. But remember, these guys would be using one steps or half speeds for everything, if it really was better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the point.
Yeah, and it kind of is a proprietary thing from Abbey Road. Everybody's looking for something to set their studio apart from the next guy because at the end of the day, we're selling records. They're trying to make a living and get their product moving. And if they can find an angle that says, hey, you got to get this because there's the hype, then, go for it. You know, so your
Yeah,
mileage
you
may
know,
vary at all things.
I don't believe we need the hype. I think if you give us the best, tape source and the best mastering, pure AAA, that there will always be a market for it. I mean, if you look at how like acoustic sounds has kind of built its way up to its point here, that's what it basically does. Now, they have expensive stuff that you could call snake oil too. But the point is there, to me, just the basic three-step process, all analog. There is a market. You don't need half speeds or one step. I will go out and spend money on something I believe was mastered well. That's all.
Do you have a band in particular that you go, this is get this, you're going to get the best bang for buck if you get this pressing of this band and they sound consistently better than anybody. You're never going to go wrong with this particular band. There's a number of artists, and engineers make a big difference, and mastering figures, they make a big difference on what kind of record you get. Like anything from what the hell, Year of the Cat, Al Stewart, who did the mastering on Year of the Cat? He did he did everything. I just can't. Alan Parsons, Parsons project. Anything that guy does is beautiful. He's one of the best. He cares about Trevor Horn from Yes and from the Buggles. Trevor Horn's a great producer. Anytime you're listening to a Trevor Horn product, if it's ABC or the Buggles, anything you listen, Yes, does a great job. You get a good product. And some bands
good example,
really care about that. Go ahead.
Good example of this is like I'll still buy certain analog production pressings because they're using the Doug Sachs equipment. I'll pay $60 for certain things because I like that equipment. You know what I mean? I'm not paying for it because I think it's going to be better than anything else. But like with the Van Morrisons they did, that sounded amazing on Doug Sachs's equipment. So that's how you have to look at it. There's things that may be worth spending a little more money on, if that's just the way it is, because you're getting something unique, maybe.
Yeah.
So you just have to have a level head of looking at it. It doesn't mean it's worth $60, but if that's the only way to get it.
Ladies and
sometimes
gentlemen,
it's not better.
We are coming up on something like 3 hours or something doing this thing. This has been a good show. We are here celebrating Mazzy taking off. We're really happy that Wyatt came along, hung out with us, and played around with us. Cesar goes, this is something else I love. I love film. I love movies. And it's the same discussion go on, 4K versus standard resolution versus Blu-ray, etc. It's the same thing, whatever media you're going to be involved with it. Hey, Rach, been growing my 4K movie collection. Started with all-time favorite first. Which ones do you recommend from the 80s, 90s, 2000s? What are your favorite from all those years? If you're doing 4K, there's a few. Interstellar worked great. Oppenheimer looks fantastic in 4K. It really makes a difference. So some 4K films, you go, wow, this is good. The Nolan, anything by Chris Nolan, you're in for a treat. Blade Runner 2049, the original Blade Runner, both of those look incredible and just amazing. And when you see that opening scene with that ship coming in on the pyramids kind of thing in the original Blade Runner, that's all the impact that had in the theater is brought back in 4K. Certain 4Ks you want to avoid, like the wind. Scott Pilgrim versus the World. It's not worth it. Just get a standard Blu-ray. If that film does not take advantage of the 4K. And there's some of the older films too that you can get them in 4K, but it's just not really making that big a difference. So your mileage will vary when it comes to 4K.
You know what I noticed with old films?
Yeah.
And when they restore them, if they're wearing a certain type of makeup in the film, you see that makeup.
Well,
and
yeah, I mean, okay. Well, that's a question. Okay, here's the deal. This goes with God. We'll extend a little bit. We'll wrap up, but this is an important topic too. Here's my thought on it. You can remasters so you can hear, especially with, because the Beatles are my thing, right? I've got Beatles up yin yang. And the thing is with that, you can, I remember listening to on one of the, I can't even remember which one it was, but I'm hearing Ringo's sticks going click, 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 click. And it's so distracting because it was never like, if you go listen to, I've got the OG UK, it just because you can make, hey, look what we can do with Ringo's stick. You can really hear his sticks like never before. Yeah, but dude, as Wyatt was saying, is that the intention of the original band? No, Ringo's sticks were there for atmosphere. It's not meant to be taken on as the lead instrument. It's meant to be reduced and put in the background. But when a guitar solo comes in out to the fore, then I want to see that guitar ripping through everything else, or the drum solo. That's the instrument you want to cook. You know, that's how I would engineer it. Because that's what you want, that to get the music to move you.
Or like or like Robert Plant's vocals not being buried in the mix but being opened up. You know what I mean? It's like the Immigrant Song. I've heard all these different versions of it. And one of the things that is like, he's a little bit further when he starts singing, he's a little bit in the mix. And God, his vocal performance is incredible. Like, I just wonder if the original master tape could be opened up a little.
There's one thing I could add to Cesar, what Cesar said. If you go back to particularly the 50s, there was a cinematic process called VistaVision. And it proved so expensive that they eclipsed it and they replaced it with Panavision, which was cheaper. But VistaVision was the best cinematic process they ever got, because it didn't make a choice between how vivid the colors were and how sharp the image is. You could have actually both with VistaVision. And so if you're buying a Blu-ray, even if it's not 4K, even if it's 1080p, if the original source was VistaVision, which went all the way up to Marlon Brando's One-Eyed Jacks, that was the last one for quite a while. That quality of the original source, because it was shot in VistaVision, transfers to a really nice Blu-ray transfer. So those are some of the best Blu-rays you can get, the ones that were originally filmed in VistaVision, but you have to go back mostly to the 1950s for that. Quite a few Alfred Hitchcock movies in the 50s were filmed in VistaVision.
Yeah. So going back to the point about, Ringo's, yeah, you could do the click, 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 but is that the intention? Same thing with makeup, the fidelity. If you're able, you've got to look at it. Was that makeup meant to be able to be seen in such resolution, such detail?
I'll give you a perfect example of that. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
A perfect example is I watched Out of Africa with Meryl Streep recently, the 4K.
Yeah.
And they make her look old. It's horrible. The makeup is like, you see everything. It looks completely fake.
Yeah, it doesn't
like she
work.
doesn't look old at all. And so that's the only problem. It's wonderful to see. Now with the VistaVision and stuff, you want that 4K because now you're getting the real film reel that we never saw.
Yeah.
Cesar, tomorrow I'm going to be broadcasting, the regular time. We're doing the show tomorrow, 7 a.m., the regular program. Ladies and gentlemen, the focus tomorrow is going to be Rubber Soul. I got a pack of Rubber Souls right over behind here. There you go. A bunch of Rubber Souls over there. This astute amongst you will know that is a U.S. pressing based on the color of the Rubber Soul there. But anyway, so I'm going to show a bunch of Rubber Souls. We'll talk about the album coming up, my take on it, what I think is good about what, blah, blah, blah. So we'll do that tomorrow morning. So that's going to be a big focus. And of course, the usual hijinks and giggles. But we're going to do that. And Caesar, tomorrow I'll just get a handful of DVDs, 4Ks out of my collection and just kind of hold them up and play a little show and tell that way. We'll do that.
I have a question before I get off. My battery's almost out. This is something I thought of recently because I was learning about the 24 karat gold CDs that they did in the 90s and how that they don't deteriorate. And the purpose for doing is they could last hundreds of years. I would like to see 24 karat gold 4K discs that could be more collectible, that really, because as we know with old CDs, some of them are already deteriorating. because of the material.
Your mileage will vary. I'm an old media hound. I'm old. Okay, I'm very elderly, so I've been collecting for a long time. I've got CDs from the first generation of them. So what, 1996? So and they still play. You pop them and you play them.
Yeah. Yeah, it depends on the environment and how they've been protected, So that's the whole thing, But anyway, it was just a thought of sharing with the community. Like, you wanted to own Lawrence of Olivier on a 4K 24 karat gold disc. That's kind of a cool idea, huh? And it would, just a thought.
Well, don't get involved in snake oil.
That is snake oil.
Yeah.
There's your snake oil.
All holding grudges.
So anyway,
all holding grudges. Rachel's Ghost, the grudge-free show.
Grudge-free. That's the way we run it, 40. But I love you, man. I'm so glad you came up. Wyatt, it's been a pleasure to meet you. Welcome. You're welcome here anytime. So what's next in the can for you? So the kids, your new fans, can know what you're coming up with next. What's in the can? What are they going to see when they go to your channel?
Well, to be honest, most of my fans are in their 60s and 70s. When I look at the analytics, I have a few people in their 30s, but I'm trying to reach younger people. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get people to see what's next in the can. Hey, if Mazzy's listening, I would love to do an interview with him.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah, Mazzy's always great to talk
to. That's next in the can. If anyone would think that we could have a cool interview together, definitely drop me a comment or something. I'll give you my email. So yeah, it's just
is
that day by day.
Is that a big selling point for your channel, that apart from the topics, you bring people in and have a chit chat with them?
Well, I'm just starting to do these little live interviews, and I'm really enjoying it because I believe that there's an older generation that has so much knowledge that this is a wonderful time for them to share it. And YouTube is a great platform because this will be here, 50 years from now.
We would hope.
With AI taking over, let's be honest, we're going into a new world, and this older knowledge is going to be lost if people are always asking AI what AI thinks.
And if you go to my channel, you can see an original 1959 poster of 4D Man.
Yeah, the movie, right? Of course, the 4D is all based on that film. And of course, joining us to say goodbye, Darren. We're shutting her down. We're going to go all
Hi, Darren. Wyatt. Nice to meet you.
There's Wyatt. There's Darren, the man Crawford, talking about was it Tony Banks interview? Holy smokes, Darren, you are the man for that. He did the great Tony Banks interview. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it from Darren, for Wyatt, and 4D and myself. We'll see you tomorrow morning.
All right.
7 o'clock.
Aloha from Maui, guys.
All right.
We'll do this again.
Thank you, Wyatt. Take care, everybody. And way to go, Mazzy. We love you, Michael 45. Take care, everybody.
Oh, he's gone. Well, that's not fun.
Well, you know what? He had to, like you said, his battery was dying.
Yeah.
There's great. Get up, set your clock, get up early, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, your time. We're going to be live. It's not just Patreon.
Yeah, no, I'll tune in for sure.
Yeah, tune in. We'll get you up on camera. We'll talk Rubber Soul. That's tomorrow's program. Take care, everybody. Way to go, Mazzy. Bye, everybody.